started now.
Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, after all the technical difficulties, we're working now.
Oh, we can
we're
make
working
like
now.
behind the scenes clips.
We definitely could make it behind the scenes.
That'd be
Yeah, that sounds good.
fun,
Yeah, okay. I forgot what I was supposed to say. Anyways, yeah, welcome to The Elevator, the podcast where we take elevator small talk and turn into in-depth conversations. I'm your host, Ezekiel Day, and I'm here with...
I'm Brittany.
JP.
What's happening?
Go.
Hi, Jaden.
You're Jaden?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. You just said your name was Jaden.
I did say that,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, that's good.
yeah.
All right, I guess we'll start you. How's your week, Jaden?
Oh, me?
Yeah, how was your week?
My week was mid.
Okay.
As usual.
Would you like to elaborate?
I did homework.
Nice.
I talked to people and stuff. It
Nice.
was cool.
Nice.
Nothing really crazy transpired, unfortunately.
Okay.
Although I did figure out my rooming situation in Pittsburgh, so that's cool.
Oh.
For some internship stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
He's going to Duolingo.
Yeah. Now you're gonna come find me. That's cool. I'll see you.
My bad.
You're good.
My bad. We
Yeah.
can cut
It's
that
in
out.
Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Where are you staying? Where are you staying? Just drop the address.
I'm staying. I don't know.
Hey, drop that address.
I actually don't know the address yet, but like I know what the place looks like.
Okay.
Cool.
So
But yeah.
it was just like one of those like Facebook ads. You just like, oh, this looks nice, and you just
Is it
got
like an
it?
Airbnb?
Yes,
or
Airbnb.
something?
Airbnb is definitely the best way to go when you're looking for like long term.
Mm.
Actually, that's not true. But like, if you're incompetent, then it's the best way to go.
So
Huh? This
Nice.
is the easiest way. But yeah, so
Okay.
it's been good. Moderate, yeah, it's good.
all right.
How about you, Jonathan?
Right. My week has been a week.
Oh yeah.
It's been pretty.
Like 7 days.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Cause like sometimes when it's like 4, it really messes me up.
No, actually, I feel that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. It was more like 6.5. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know.
That happens. Sometimes you just lose half.
Sometimes you
an
lose
hour,
half a day
like
for
half a
no
day. Yeah.
reason.
Just randomly.
Sometimes
You don't know where it
lose
went.
all of the week. I think eventually you lose all of the week, no matter what.
Eventually, you just lose all time.
Eventually, you lose all time when you die.
Yeah.
So that's how my week went.
You're dead.
I guess so.
Dang.
I think I just died.
Why'd
Amazing.
you lose like half a day? Just cause.
It just feels like I lose half. I can't really explain.
Half a
It's
day's
just a
not
lot.
that much. That's not that
It's a lot. That's 12 hours, Jay.
That is 12
People
hours.
spend 12 hours a day on Instagram, so I don't know.
That is true. I spend 12 hours a day doing homework, and I feel like I wasted my life.
True. Wait, homework. Okay, yeah, I kind of feel that.
Yeah.
Homework sometimes takes like ridiculously long, and you feel like you work on it, like and you're doing good work, and then you realize it's been like 5 hours. You got one problem done. And you're like,
Yeah. And then you're like, I could have been doing literally anything else. I could have built a company. I could have ate a good meal. Could have spent time with friends. I could have, visited some family. I could have done something.
You could have slept.
I could have slept. I don't even remember what that's like.
Dang.
Yeah. So that was your week. You lost half a day. And
I lost half a day, but
anything
it's-
exciting happen?
No. Actually, I'm doing UPOP, which has been a time.
What is
I had a mental
UPOP?
breakdown the first day, which
Oh.
was great.
That
So what
happens.
is UPOP?
UPOP is Undergraduate Practice Opportunities Program, I think. Basically, it's professional development. So we have like a whole weekend where we just like practice teamwork and communication and presentation skills, which are obviously very important if you want to succeed in the corporate world. So
So it's like a summer camp.
It's not the summer,
It's in the
though.
winter though. That's the thing.
Okay, that's not the point of understanding.
Yeah.
No, the point is that it's in summer.
Yeah, but it's only because school is not in the summer.
He's
If
right.
school was in the summer, then it would be called winter camp.
Yeah.
So it's not summer camp because it's still during the school.
Yeah, but it has all the same attributes except for the summer part.
Well, I don't go away from where I live. I still come back to my dorm every day.
Yeah.
So it's not
But
summer
you don't,
camp.
you're not from the dorm though.
I am from the dorm. I was born in New Vassar. I don't know if you knew this about me.
Knox.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Okay, we got cut out.
Are we actually cutting this out?
No, we're not going to
No.
Yeah, we're not gonna- yeah.
We can bleep out the name of the dorm. I don't want people to find me here.
It's alright.
No, I don't.
I mean, like, the worst thing that could happen is, like, you get mobbed by all the fans, and then, like,
They can't enter the building. They're gonna break in at night though.
yeah, but that's like, okay, though, because, like, then maybe you'll get, like, private housing somewhere. It would be kind of cool. Or you'll just get kicked out.
They'll make you pay more.
Yeah.
They'll make you pay more.
Yeah. That's
fair.
okay.
Okay. Do I
You know
get
what's
the
interesting? Oh, sorry.
I thought I was gonna get the popcorn.
Yeah, you do get to popcorn.
I do get the popcorn. You just
You're
like
gonna
throw it to
give
a
this
random person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put
popcorn it
I'll put a pin
to
in
that
it.
backpack in the corner right there. How
Oh,
was
look
your
at
day
his
backpack?
backpack.
How was your day backpack?
Name is Mitch.
Alright, great. No, we'll go to Brittany next if she's like in one.
My week was stressful, like the last half of it, because that's when all my well, I shouldn't say all my assignments, because I did have 007 on Tuesday, but everything else was due on a Thursday or a Friday, so that was pretty difficult. And then I had a meeting with my GRA about something that's going on in the dorm.
There's always something going on in the dorm.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I also had a meeting recently about something that happened in my dorm.
Was it good or bad?
Bad. I still haven't told you the story, but it was pretty crazy. Like I can't.
It can't be said here, right?
Yeah, it can't be said here.
Is it NSFW?
Yes,
or?
definitely.
It sounds like something you should say here, actually.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like
on a scale of 1 to 10 on the NSFW
it's
scale.
pretty bad. You remember the SAPO training, right? It was like potentially a violation of that.
The what?
I mean,
Sapo?
SAPO.
Dude,
It's
I
like
didn't
the
do
other
training.
thing other than DEI.
It's like the counterpart of
What
the
is-
Yeah.
Isn't aren't DEIs for like driving and stuff? So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why
You're
are
funny,
you-
Jaden.
why-
Wait, you mean DUI?
She's right.
Whoops.
She's right.
It's alright. Jay only
There's
has one.
DUI,
Jay only has one
there's
brain cell. It's okay.
DWI.
There you go.
It's fine.
So funny.
Sorry, yeah, continue. I know I'm going to cut you off.
I mean, that was it. I mean, I have to wake up early on Tuesday because I have to go to 007 lab because I wasn't aware that the lab wasn't going to be open tomorrow. And I have to fabricate a part for my robot, and it's due at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, so I have to go in an hour and hope that it's not, like, fully packed, even though I know it probably is. Because I'm sure...
Go there early.
Well, I'm sure other people are going at the exact same time since they
Go
also
early.
went
Go
away.
now.
It's not open,
It's not
dude.
open.
What?
It's only open 8:30 to 5.
Stay at the front of the lab until it opens.
Yeah, you could do
Camp
that.
out,
Like, what you
camp
could
out,
do
camp
is,
out,
like,
camp out.
11 o'clock, just camp out there, and you'll be first in line.
Exactly. No one is going to do that. You'll be the only one.
Yeah, no one's
How
that
about I just
excited
get up at
about
like
it.
7:30 and get there at 8? I feel like that'll achieve
Yeah, but
the
other
same
people
thing.
have the same idea.
Yeah.
But no one's
You
gonna
gotta
camp
get
out.
ahead. You gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah,
ahead of the game.
yeah.
You gotta get ahead of the game.
I'm not camping out outside of Poplar.
Okay, that's your loss. I'm not going to apologize when you aren't able to make that robot part.
What?
Well, you don't need to apologize.
It won't be that complicated, so hopefully it won't take too long.
You know, I've said that so many times about things at this school. I'm like, oh, it couldn't be that complicated. It's the first piece set. And then I started late, and then it's a wrap.
That's how I felt about thermo this past week. It was hard.
Oh, yeah. Another person told me thermal was hard. Oh, it was Aiden. It was Aiden.
Yeah, but different thermal. Mechie thermal's worse.
Mechie thermo is very bad.
Wait, he didn't take Mechie thermal?
No, he took
No,
biothermal.
There's Mechie thermal, bio thermal.
I thought there was
chemistry
only.
thermal,
I thought there
physics
was
thermal.
only. Wait, there's a physics thermal?
Yeah, statistical
Yeah.
mechanics.
It's like
Oh,
8044.
no.
It's like
No.
8044, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh no,
You should
sir.
take it.
I'm never taking that class.
Wait, no, statistical mechanics Loki sounds so fire.
No. It's literally like, so like, for example, say you have a single body and it's like moving, right? That's like 1D motion, right?
Uh-huh.
And then like, say you have like a single particle that's like moving around, like with like some quantum effects and stuff like that. You know, you can calculate that using some quantum physics. Statistical mechanics is a study of many of those particles, just like moving around. And it's just so crazy. Like, you have to use some crazy formulas and stuff.
Yeah,
Very hard stuff.
That's pretty pog. It's when things get the most difficult that they're the most interesting. Generally
I think it's just when it gets the most difficult. Period.
You mean just end the sentence there?
Yeah.
I think it's when things get the most difficult. Period.
Yes.
Okay. I understand. Anything
Yeah.
else?
No, that's about it.
Amazing.
I'll go to Ezekiel now.
Oh, my week? I feel like this week was like the first, until like up to Thursday, it was like the first time I was at MIT and I was like happy. It was just like generally good. I don't know what it was. I just had a better outlook on life. So, yeah, I think it was just like I prioritized like just spending time with friends and not just, you know, going and doing P-sets and homework assignments. But then like Thursday hit and I had the realization that I had a bunch of work due that I hadn't been able to do because I have classes from 7 a.m. to basically 8 p.m. at night.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, I have to finish all of these, but I don't have enough time to do it. And at that point, I was like kind of freaking out because I just can't be able to finish it.
I just thought of your solution.
What?
Do your homework during class.
You see, the thing is, if I do that, I don't know what happened in class, and they don't record it.
Well, which class?
All of them.
There's no way.
So some of them do record, but
Okay,
they're-
so do it during those.
yeah,
And
but
watch the recordings at home at 2 times speed.
I could do that, but that's the time I could be using coding.
What do you mean?
Like I might as well just do it at home.
I think the
No.
point. I think the point is that like you can watch the lecture faster at home than you
Yeah,
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 exactly.
Well, I'll figure something out. But anyways, on Thursday, I started having a bad day. I was no longer happy, which is like my normal state here. And then I was sitting down. I was right before poetry class, and I was like, man, this day is trash. So I'm over here reading some sus Shakespeare poems. I don't know what Shakespeare was on. I don't know what he was doing. He's talking about some kind of guy who he thinks is like hot or attractive or something. And then he's talking about how like he was actually a woman, but then like the woman grew a prick to pleasure women. And then like I don't know what's going on with Shakespeare. And then he's telling this guy. Anyways.
That sounds pretty awesome. Wait, my bad.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
it's like it is kind of awesome. I do feel that way.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys
I know
want to
what
find
he's
out
talking
about it, you can go check out the Shakespeare sonnets. They're publicly available. Anyway, so I was doing it before poetry class.
1 through 20, by the way.
Yeah, 1 through 20. They're interesting. Anyways, I was sitting there all sad because I hadn't read the poetry things, and I was like the class was like in like 5 minutes. So I'm sitting there in like building 2, the intersection of building 2 and like the hallway down to building 14. So I'm sitting there by that like geometric structure, and then these 2 girls come up to me and they're like, "Where's Hayden Library?" And I'm like, "Oh, I give them directions to Hayden Library," and then they're like, "Do you like that library?" And I was like, "It's newly renovated. It's nice, and they're like, "No, but is this the library that you go to?" And I was like, I guess it depends. If I'm gonna go study with some people, then I'll go and use that one. But if I really want peace and quiet, I'll go take the one in the dome in building 10. They're like, "Oh, there's a library in the dome." So at this point, I've gathered that they probably don't go to our school. They're probably like visiting or whatever. And then so like I was like, okay, I'm just having this normal interaction, but I'm not like thinking about it at all. So I'm just like trying to read the poetry like while I'm talking to them. And so then like this girl, she like leaves, and then she comes back, and then she just like, "I just want to let you know you smell nice." And I was like,
oh,
you know what? That made my day
Riddler.
significantly better. I just think like sometimes I kind of don't think about it, but oftentimes I'm like just like when I'm just going about MIT life, I actually just feel invisible. So it was just kind of nice reminder that like I actually did exist. So I kind of lifted up my day for Thursday. And then over the weekend, I went to a religious retreat, and that was a lot of fun. I think some of the things that I was really struggling with, and the whole reason why I was sort of starting to go back downhill on the sadness route, was addressed directly during the retreat. It's like sometimes I feel like the priest here just like he like read my mind, or like he saw my journal or something, which is like I know exactly what to talk about. So I thought that was a great experience. He talked about just like the feeling that a lot of humans get of just like not feeling like you're enough to do whatever, like to have friends or do a certain job or do certain work. Just throughout life, there's certain times you just don't feel like you're enough, and you just address that. I thought that was a good opportunity to kind of relax. But now I'm behind on homework, so
amazing.
yeah, that's been my week.
Wait, I want to go back to the journal point because both you and Jaden have a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have a journal.
You were
Yeah,
joking
you
about
do.
that.
No, you do have a journal.
No, sometimes I just write down my most depressing thoughts on a piece of paper.
Oh, that's a journal.
But it's not consistent.
That's still a journal.
Yeah, I wouldn't show that to anybody. Actually, I mean, they're written.
Now I want to see that.
They're written as if someone could read it, but I feel like it'd be very depressing.
I want to read it now. I want to be depressed.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've
I
been
don't
writing
think
one
you do,
recently.
actually.
I'm giving a whole
I do.
recap of my life.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I also have one, but like in the same way, it's not every day. It's just like every major update in my life.
Okay.
Well, these are not
So-
major updates. It's just like sometimes I'm just like going about life here, and then I get this sudden feeling that I'm wasting my time and my entire life. And at that point, I think to myself, well, I don't know why I feel like this. Let me just write down everything I can think of, and maybe it will suddenly appear before my eyes.
And it doesn't.
No.
Figures.
Wait, so why did you bring up the journaling point?
Do you have a journal, Brittany? Before I move on.
No.
No? Okay. I feel like I should start keeping a journal.
Hmm.
Because there are a lot of things that I like think about. I'm like, oh, this is a really good insight about myself and perhaps humanity in general.
Yes.
I should note this down so I don't forget it
Yes.
and make the same mistakes I made before because I didn't realize.
Yes.
And then I forget it and I make the same mistakes because I don't remember that realization that I had. So keeping a journal would help me keep track of those realizations.
Yeah, I think every time I go on one of these retreats, they force you to just think about your life, and because of that, I realized there were some things that were bothering me about just my life in general and also this school. And then when I got back here, I was at the gym, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was thinking, like, I might as well just write it down in the hopes that I won't forget it. Maybe I'll learn something from it, maybe not, but that's okay. You know, I think writing things down is the best way to actually comprehend things. When you just have it floating around your brain, it's all so abstract and incoherent that it makes it sort of difficult to actually process what is actually happening. So, you know, you have to write it down, then you can actually see it and you can read it and process it and comprehend it.
I totally agree. Have you ever like just written an essay and like gets better as you write because
Yes.
you're fleshing out your thoughts more?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually how I write every essay. I write down everything I'm thinking, and it makes no sense. But then when I read it through, I see how they all connect, and then I just like put it together, and then it makes like an epic essay.
You can also achieve the same effect by just speaking your thoughts out loud.
No, it's not the same.
No, why not?
You could reach like a midpoint between like full understanding and just abstract thought by speaking out loud.
No, I think. Wait, why? But why not?
When you read things, like when you see it on paper, there's like a certain visual aspect to it that allows you to better comprehend it, because you're using two senses now, because you're reading it out loud and you're seeing it like physically. So I think that adds something to it. What is going on?
What are you doing, Jonathan?
Just coloring in the you know.
Yeah,
Oh, I
don't
see.
mind him. He may have something.
Something wrong with
What do
him?
you mean?
No, he may have something good with him.
What kind of good things?
There's a lot of good things.
I'm confused on what you're trying to get at here.
I think, my point, I think that, like, the main reason that, like, writing it down is good is because you have to, like, parse your thoughts in a way that, like, makes sense.
Parse your thoughts. I can tell you're a computer science major.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not, no. I hate this
You gotta
one.
get to compile it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also
Compile your thoughts.
You're also correct.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
You
like,
get to go through the full stack, you know?
Oh
First
my
in,
god.
first out.
Guys, he thinks he's funny. That's what.
People.
Yeah.
People. Oh, remember that one dodgeball game where you just like you got on the queue. You were so excited. The man was shouting, "People, people!" You got the queue.
Bro,
No.
I
The
hope
wait.
so-
The best part.
No,
He
okay.
comes out of the queue, grabs a dodgeball, and pelts one of the guys on the other side. It has to be one of those epic things I've ever seen in my life. It was actually so good.
If y'all don't know what FIFO is, there are some list structures in computer science languages where if you want to add and remove stuff, it will FIFO is first in, first out. So whichever element you put in first, if you choose to remove it, that's also the first one that comes out.
Explain like a true mechie.
Yes.
Well, that was fine.
No,
That-
yeah,
that's
that
how
was
I
a- that was
that's
a
how
good
I would
explanation.
explain it.
Yeah.
How would you explain
Well,
it?
Better, obviously.
Wow,
Sheesh, who
I
are
see
you?
how
'Cause
it is.
I'm a comp sci major, obviously. We just like explain things in our own major more superiorly.
No, because every time I'm reading the instructions for a comp sci homework, they don't know how to speak English. There's actually no English in it. They're just like, I need you to do this, and I'm like, what? And they're like, and then I go to TA, it's like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's clear. You just have to. I'm like, what are you saying right now? Like, what are the instructions? They just have like, and then like their graphics are just like squares, and the graphics have like they have nothing to do with the actual assignment. So I'm like, what is happening here? They're like, you can see it's a list. I'm like, that's just it's literally a green box. Like, yeah, it's an abstraction of a list. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to explain this to me. They're like, it is explaining it to you. It says that you have to shift the memory by 1. I'm like, and what does that mean? They're like, you take the stack and you shift it. I'm like, the pancake stack? Like, what's happening here? I don't understand.
That's totally fair. No, your explanation was good. I was joking. You did good.
it's fine. I don't take any offense to it.
Good.
Wow.
I'll offend you more.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about, like, MIT cutting how much funding they're giving to clubs?
What?
But they're giving
For
like
what reason?
like the amount of money that they're giving out is like a fourth of what it actually was last semester. Have you heard about that?
I don't.
Because of like the financial climate or something.
The financial.
climate.
I think they get like some like ridiculous amount of like money, like $300 billion in endowment
We
or
only
something.
have 10 billion in endowments. We're kind of broke. Like, I'm sorry.
We have more than 10 billion in endowment. I feel like we searched this before.
We did. But
Google it right now. I
Okay.
want to know how much endowment we have. I want to know how much endowment we have for me to live in the conditions I do. I want to know. I want to know what they're robbing me of. What is happening?
endowment.
MIT.
What is MIT.
Can they
have?
see this?
No. Now they can.
$24.6 billion.
They lost 5.3% last year. They spent it on crypto. It's over.
You know, they could have used they could have used that money to improve living condition. We didn't even have a student center for like a good portion of this semester.
No.
You know how like other
The
schools.
semester's just started.
Yeah,
but
that's not fair.
No,
That's
no,
not fair.
I'm.
We don't have full access though. It's
We
only
don't
like
have full access.
the
Yeah, it's only
only
first
the
floor.
restaurants are open, and the 4th floor offices are closed except if you have to go there. 3rd floor is totally closed. 5th floor is totally closed.
You
So
know
we
what?
can't even go to Stud 5
'Cause
anymore.
the thing is, like, the stud was mediocre at best when
Yeah.
it was operational, and somehow they made it worse. Like, if you're gonna make me do the amount of work I have to do here, and if you're gonna make me have to stay up and not sleep anymore, the least you could do is have like a nice place for me to chill with my friends and get good food. You know, like food that's like good.
Is the stud food good though?
The
I
stud
don't
f-
know.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
Dunkin's alright.
Yeah, it's Dunkin'.
Dunkin's pretty good. Wait,
Yeah, I'm saying, why don't we have other things like that? Why don't we have other
I
like
want a
name brand
Chick-fil-A.
things? Yeah, a Chick-fil-A.
I
If we
want
had
a
a Chick-fil-A.
They're not gonna put Chick-fil-A here. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, guys.
How do you know
Wait, but
that?
we
That's how I
voted.
know.
There's a survey.
I voted for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, everyone
I
better
voted.
vote. Who doesn't vote for Chick-fil-A?
Wait,
there? I'm
what were the
actually going
options? What were the options?
You could put everything.
It was like
anything you want
Chick-fil-A,
down.
Panda Express, and then like
Panda
what?
Express would also be.
No, stop.
Panda,
Yeah.
Panda Express would be better than whatever we have now.
Okay, yes, you're correct, but it's not better than Chick-fil-A. Why
No,
would you?
no.
Why
No,
would?
no, no, no. I'm just saying, like, let's say Chick-fil-A is not even on the table. Panda Express is a good second
Yeah,
option.
like they have one at Caltech. There's one like right outside Caltech.
Dude, there's everything
There's also
everywhere else.
a really
We just
famous
need
pie
more-
place
We
next
just
to
need
Caltech.
more food options.
This-
We don't really. We have the dining halls. We have
Dining
the
halls are
Bosworth
actually
Cafe in Lobby 7, and we have the 3 things
That's
in the
not a
Stud,
cafe.
and that's it.
That's like I don't know what it is. I was gonna say it's a corner store, but corner stores are better.
I've
Corner
never,
stores are
I've
actually
never
better.
been to Bosworth's. I wanted to go because I had a really busy day last Monday, but they were closed because the power went out, so I couldn't have anything.
That's funny.
The power went out. You know, sometimes I just get up in the morning and I say, you know, I'm gonna go take a shower before everybody else does because you know once people use the showers, it is completely and totally unusable. But then I'll go in the shower and there's just no hot water. It's just ice cold water. What's happening here?
No, this guy's different. He's just like poking the mic. He wants to see what happens. I guess I don't know.
No,
know we can't hear that, right?
Don't say it like
You know we
that.
can't-
Don't
we
say
can't
They
hear
make
that.
it like screech whenever you hit it.
Oh God,
Well,
no!
no,
You're making
no,
it worse.
it
You're making it
doesn't.
worse.
Why are
They
you doing
can-
that? Why are you doing that? Stop tapping the mic. This is not ASMR episode.
Wait, I wonder if they can actually hear that. That'd be cool.
Yes,
But-
they can hear that. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh no, they
It's-
can.
It's a microphone.
I can see the fact that
Wait,
they
let
hear it,
me.
Jonathan.
Should we make this ASMR?
Bro,
No,
No.
let's not do that.
No?
Let's not do that.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Let's move this back. Okay.
I
No,
could
but
do
I think you guys.
You ever taken an ice cold shower when you didn't want to?
It's the worst
Yeah.
feeling ever.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the lights just go out at my door.
Nice.
You know, that's sometimes the lights just don't work, or is that just on my floor?
Oh no, that happens to me too.
Oh, okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted to check.
It happens periodically, I think, across all rooms. You see, the problem
That's
is when it
crazy.
happens, you probably don't go out and ask anyone, so you don't know that it's like floor wide usually.
No, sometimes I go to the person next door.
And are their lights out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you complaining then?
This
I
guy's
don't have a
different.
right to complain that I'm paying a lot of money for a living space that doesn't have hot water and lights.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought you were complaining about the fact that it was only happening to you.
No, I'm just checking if it'd be okay if it's happening to you too. I want you to suffer with me.
Aw, see, no, wait, actually, the suffering with other people is like so wholesome here. It's like the only thing that gets me through like
Freaking
MIT.
Wi-Fi,
Bro.
man.
Oh yeah, there's no
The
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
sometimes.
The
There's no Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
sometimes.
We go to a tech school.
And
And
the
we can't
Wi-Fi
get decent
is
Wi-Fi.
so bad. Yeah.
Also, like, there's a room renting thing that you can do for like teachers and the music department. So I have saxophone lessons, and the music department rented out the room for a certain amount of time, and then the academic department also rented out the room,
That's so
and they crossed over
That's
because
so
the two systems aren't
So
connected.
stupid.
So the class just walked in on my saxophone lesson and was like, "Hey, yo, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "My lesson." And they were like, "You're not supposed to be in here." I'm like, "Well, I have the confirmation from the music department director." And they're like, "That's tough. I have it from the academic director." And I was like, "Actually, I don't. Why? Why don't they just have one reservation service?"
That's a fantastic question. There's too much bureaucracy in the system, but the reason everything's in place is because they want to maximize our suffering here without getting
think
any
so.
human rights
Like-
violations.
The rooms
That's-
are so small. Half the time the food is inedible or actually straight up poisonous. Like people just get food poisoning, and the
Ooh.
People.
Massey.
Massey.
Massey is
Bad
rank
system.
1
Bad
offender.
immune systems. That's all I gotta say. I haven't gotten food poisoning yet.
No, half the
He
time
hasn't
the
tried
ice
the
cream,
eggs.
half the time the ice cream in the refrigerator bastard is just expired. And sometimes when you get like a sandwich, the bread's just moldy.
Oh my gosh, yes!
That's really gross.
Oh my gosh, I was traumatized permanently from New Vassar.
Why are y'all eating the sandwiches though? That's an L from the beginning. I'm not gonna.
There's
lie.
no other choice.
No, there's other choices.
Like what?
Like they have omelets sometimes. They got
Sometimes.
like the.
Sometimes.
They got the line where you can get like scrambled eggs, sometimes
Oh, I get the
bacon and
scrambled
sausages, and like
Ian gets the
pancakes
sandwiches.
sometimes.
Ian gets the sandwiches.
Ian does get the sandwiches.
Ian's
Massive
a-
L, bro.
Actually gets a wrap. I think he learned this lesson.
That's
about
a
the
wrap for
bread.
him.
It is a wrap. For
That's
him.
a wrap for him.
The wraps are usually not moldy, or you just can't see the mold because they're green already. Like the,
Yeah.
they may have
Yeah.
originally been like
It's
normal,
those-
but they're green now.
Those
Agreed.
stupid spinach wrap things.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not stupid. That's just healthy.
No, it just makes you feel healthy. Like you know how like when you put lettuce on a burger, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah.
But
no, but
as-
like
Does it
this
help?
time, it's like
No.
lettuce is baked into the buns, bro. So it's like different.
That's
What?
so gross.
I think it just loses all nutritional value.
Are you sure?
What are you talking about?
Lettuce is just hard water.
Yeah.
Changed my mind.
I think lettuce is the best vegetable, no cap.
Absolutely
Yeah!
not. Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm not taking anything
Yeah.
from you. What other vegetables
no,
have you had?
Jaden is so based on this. Lettuce is
What-
actually
no,
the
but what
Why
other
is
best.
lettuce
vegetables?
the best?
Because it's the least bad.
He's
No, no,
correct.
no, 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 no,
He's
no, no.
not.
Y'all don't like corn?
Spinach. Spinach
No.
is better.
Spinach is
Spinach-
great.
spinach is
Broccoli
better.
is
Spinach
great.
is
Broccoli
not
is
better.
good.
Brussels
Spinach,
sprouts
broccoli.
are great.
Wait, Brussels sprouts
You
are
lost
not
me,
bad.
yeah, you lost me
I'm
there,
sorry. Wait,
actually.
actually, corn. Now I take it back. Corn might be.
I like most vegetables.
Yeah, I have to
Most
eat corn out
vegetables
of
are
the
like
can before I
mid
feel
at
it.
best.
No.
Lettuce is just like the least mid of them
Yeah,
all.
that's true.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's a Florida take right there.
Florida
Oh, that's
take.
I don't
Yeah.
like how you take
Florida
your
take.
opinions and extrapolate to an entire population. That feels like some kind
That's
of
a
civil
DEI
rights
violation. That's a
yeah.
DEI violation.
That's some kind of violation. I don't like how you did
There's
that.
30 million people in Florida who agree with me, so I don't know what you're talking about. We gotta get if we get Liam on here, he'll back it up.
Liam would not back it up.
Liam would
No,
not-
Lee
we
would back
don't
this
know.
up. He would definitely back this up. He
But-
can't go against the Florida homies, you
No, he
know?
can't.
You see, this is gaslighting.
Wait, we can actually like text him in the chat right now and see what he says.
Don't. Yeah.
I'm doing it
If
right
he
now.
disagrees, don't mention anything.
I'd be terrified to see how many vegetables y'all eat on a daily basis.
I know-
Actually, a lot. I eat
No,
salad.
he does,
frequently.
but this
That's
kid.
good.
No, wait, why are you
This
pointing at me?
kid,
He's pointing
this
at me.
kid, I don't
He's
think
pointing
you've
at
had
me.
less before.
Bro, I've
Didn't you
had
think
plenty.
mac and cheese? Didn't you think mac and cheese wasn't pasta?
He
They
did say
don't.
that. He
They
did
don't
say
look
that.
the same. Why am I supposed to know that?
It's macaroni noodles. Noodles are pasta.
I didn't. Dude, it's just no macaroni and cheese are like little like C's. You know,
I'm
little
Those
C's?
are that's macaroni pasta.
You also thought
Elbow
sunflower.
pasta.
You thought raisins and sunflower seeds were like the same thing. You were like raisins are seeds.
What?
No,
What? So what are raisins?
they're dried grapes.
So weird.
That's it.
Who eats those?
dude.
Me. I
Oh,
love
that's kinda
raisins.
weird.
Wait, actually,
Yes.
that's kind of.
I love most dried fruit as well.
Dried fruit's good. I
Oh.
like dried mango. Dried mango's
Dried
good.
mangoes,
Ooh,
dried
that just
pineapple
sounds
is
good.
good. Dried apricots are good.
These are terrible takes. bro.
Raisins are.
No,
You
you
have
haven't
terrible
tried
takes.
them,
You have
so you can't
terrible
say. You can't say if you haven't tried
You've had
them.
like 3 fruits in your life: an apple, a strawberry, and some miscellaneous thing that you accidentally ate off like something.
Oh gosh.
These are some bold claims that you're.
Okay,
throwing
what other
there.
fruits have you had?
Other fruits, or list them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, you eat fruit. Name every fruit that exists. Like, what do you
Yeah. Well, not
I
for
don't-
you.
I
not
don't like
for
how you're
you.
gaslighting me right now. I know you've only had 3 fruits.
What's
Tell
your
me.
No,
favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit.
Yeah.
My favorite fruit is
Look at him capping right now. He's capping in 4K.
I didn't even say.
Actually, he's capping in 1080. He's capping in 1080
Okay.
because you couldn't even get the 4K on your phone.
What is that even?
Jonathan,
This
you're
guy-
beating the camera. It's
My
literally
bad.
bouncing on the
My bad.
mic.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Wait. Let's look at the video. Look at the video. Look at
Yeah,
no.
do it.
Wait. No, it's on our video, Jan. This is our camera. This is our camera.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, 1080 one.
Yeah, look at that. That's
Literally
cool.
shaking.
Yours is.
I'm literally
I said
saving
yours
the
to
camera.
1080 as
No,
well.
you didn't.
I did.
Why would you
My
do
bad.
that?
Oh, my bad. Why would we have one camera 4K, one camera 1080p? Why would we do that?
Because we're the better side of the table.
Hey, yo! You want to square up right now, bro?
You want it?
I got your number, bro.
What's my number gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Say.
That's what I thought.
I'm about to
what
call
you
you
say.
up at midnight. Wish you good night.
Pause. I don't even know what that means.
That's funny.
That him being a nice guy, because that's what he is, a nice guy.
No,
That's
no,
a
no,
clip
no,
right
no,
there.
no, 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 no.
Wait, you guys remember that meme where it's like, oh no, no. That was Ezekiel right there.
OG meme.
Jay's
Right
the
there.
type of guy to send people good night texts every night until they respond to him.
Is there a problem with
Wait,
that?
I should start doing that. I
What?
actually think that's a great idea.
But you're also the guy who says, "Where's my hug?"
Not unironically, not yet.
That
Not yet.
Wait, just as a PSA, if any of y'all were to give me a random hug, I would not complain.
I don't need you to put that out there in the world.
yeah, you.
I don't think you want random people giving you hugs.
No, not the audience. That'd be weird. I'm talking about you three.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
That's
you.
crazy. Okay.
If I ever hugged you just randomly, there's something seriously wrong.
I understand. I don't.
Like,
expect
you should be
I don't
seriously
expect it from
concerned.
you. I'm just letting you know that, like.
Yeah, I know, but like
if
if
we were
why?
to do it,
Why don't you hug? Why don't you hug?
I'm letting you know now that if I just randomly hugged you, like you should be extremely concerned and probably should call someone like immediately.
Okay, I
that'd be
understand.
that'd be very
thank
strange.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah,
I'll keep
that'd
that
be
in
very
mind.
strange.
Why?
You just like randomly see Jonathan, just give him a hug from the back. That's crazy.
Wait, you don't.
No, did you say from the back?
It doesn't have to be from the back.
Because then
It can
you
be
wouldn't
from
see it coming.
Okay.
the front. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird, but
That,
you know,
yeah.
to each their own. I feel like random hugs are better when they're from the front.
That's true, probably. Yeah.
As
It
long as
is
they're-
because you can hug them back. It's like a
That's
win-win.
true.
I'm not wrong.
I don't think anyone else has a take on this. I think it's just a
Wait, also,
I'm just
random
not-
hugs are technically a SAPO violation.
Yeah, it is.
Without
Yeah.
consent, at least. That's
Yeah.
why I
Wait,
told
what's
you
a
guys.
SAPA? What's a SAPA?
Don't worry
That's
about
the-
Jaden. You're not registering your next year. You don't have to do the training.
No. No.
That's
Yeah,
why.
I'm colloquially known as the DEI master.
Oh my, not this again, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 100s on those.
No. We get 100s. These guys, I don't know about these guys.
Wait, so what does DEI stand for?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Like this podcast.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of diversity,
We
equity,
do have
and inclusion.
No,
Actually, maybe not
I
equity,
mean,
but inclusion.
3 of us are at least partially African American.
What?
Wait, no, you're not African American.
He-
Wait, I'm confused.
It's okay.
I'm lost. Wait,
too.
Just say
What-
Jamaican.
Yeah.
It's just
That counts.
he's partially Caribbean,
Yes.
and I
Okay.
guess that makes him African American. Wait, were you born in the U.S.?
No.
So it does
No,
not.
I was born in the U.S. Yes, I was born in the U.S.
I was just checking. Why you gotta?
Where else would I be born?
Well, Ian
Africa.
was.
Oh.
Sorry,
Good
Ian
job.
was born in North Carolina, even though he lives in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
So like, it can
Okay.
happen.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It did with him.
No, he moved out of the U.S.
Wait, we're
out
missing
into, not the
Hispanic
main-
people.
Okay, sure.
What if I'm Hispanic? I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Okay, I we just need someone with like a learning disability. Would be good.
Why is that?
Isn't that all of us? We just come here.
You know, wait, that's
I can't
me.
laugh at that joke. We're gonna get canceled.
That's
It's
Oh,
over.
whatever.
I'm gonna have to leave now.
Yo, wait, he's gone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Jonathan. You being for real?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
That's crazy.
No, we may actually get canceled for that,
I
guys.
think all of us have to have a little something.
There is
have a
definitely
little
s-
screws loose. If we
Yeah,
choose
there
to
is
come
definitely
here.
something wrong.
No.
Wait, choose to come to this school?
Yeah.
I didn't want to come.
No, it's something right with me actually.
No, because the thing is like,
Changing your face, bro.
yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, keep going.
The thing is, you come here and you're normal. You're normal, right?
Oh,
you come
no.
here and you're normal.
No.
You're not like really normal. Like there's still something wrong with you, but you're relatively normal.
Relatively normal. Normal
But-
vector.
And then this happens.
And
And then,
then-
then you start seeing things like that, and you know.
We're
it's
all
gone
normal
downhill.
vector. Wait. If we're all normal, no, wait. It actually makes sense because like you can think about humans as being in like an infinite dimensional space, and if we're all normal relative to each other, that just means we're all perpendicular.
You mean
We're not.
orthogonal?
We're not. This is
That's
they're
the same
synonyms.
thing.
They're
The
synonyms.
same thing.
So like,
No,
show
we
us
don't,
to
we
sound
don't
smart
use
right here.
normal. We don't
Normal,
use normal.
perpendicular, and orthogonal are all the same.
Same thing.
No, but we say orthogonal in physics.
And there's also unitary.
We don't talk about that one. Where's that one used? I don't know. I don't care actually.
Anyway, wait, continue.
It's like orthogonal but complex. But anyways.
Yeah, continue.
Well, actually, that only applies to matrices. Sorry, I'm getting my math facts wrong.
Continue.
Yeah, and then at some point you just realize, why am I doing this to myself? You think to yourself, I could have went to another school,
Yeah.
and it would have been significantly easier.
Yeah.
I probably would have gotten more prestige,
Yeah.
and I could have left there, for the most part, mentally sane, definitely socially scarred,
Mhm.
but mentally sane, and it would have been okay. I would have gotten a good job, and everything would have been good. But now I'm just questioning like my whole life experience, my entire
I think that's
existence and
good.
identity.
I think that's good.
You know, I guess that's a benefit, but it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it now, but later when you have everything sorted out, like you'll feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just gotta endure it for now.
Yeah.
I think that's part of growing up and being a college student. It's like your identity gets challenged and questioned in ways that it hasn't been before.
Yeah, but that's not also on top of hours of work where you don't actually get to think
The
about
hours
things
of work
thoroughly.
are part of it for us,
What?
which is like great. It's
No.
like superior to other.
It would only be great if the work we were doing was actually useful.
It is useful depending on what you want to do after your career.
Not
if it's
whatever-
not useful, then you're
Not
choosing the
whatever
wrong
I'm doing.
career. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I realize that now. I actually
Whoops.
realized that.
Okay.
There's actually nothing at this school that I could learn that'd be useful to me.
Why?
Well, if you want to
How?
go, you want to go in consulting, right? It's like 15
What?
I don't wanna go to
Wait,
consulting. What are you
where'd
talking
you
about?
get this
Okay,
from?
wait,
Where'd
wait.
you
He's doing chat GPT right now. He's generating information from the web.
Shut up.
That was on like
Shut
some
up.
kind of like weird wiki about me. I don't know where that was from.
No, wait.
Anyway, it's
I
confirmed
swear,
that
you want to be a CEO.
Yeah, that's not a consultant.
Okay, management then. 15-1.
Consultant?
15-1.
15-1.
15-1.
I don't like people.
Yeah.
I don't want to manage them. I just want
That's
to
what
be.
you're gonna do. If you're
That's what a CEO is, though.
I don't even know if I want to do
Wait,
that.
Liam responded.
Well, what did he say?
He
He did.
said mushrooms.
That's
That's
not
actually a Florida answer. See, that was a Florida answer. Mushrooms.
aren't even vegetables.
You're not.
that is a Florida
That's
answer
how
right
you-
there. Lettuce.
that's how you know.
Lettuce was not the correct answer.
No,
There's
mushroom.
no
That's
way.
that's how you know. That's how you know. There are no
That's a-
vegetables that are good.
That's a Florida answer.
Because there's no vegetables that are good.
No,
These babes.
that's just false.
Well, actually,
Well,
Do
then
you
why-
like? Do you like?
Sorry to
cucumbers?
interrupt,
They're like grape.
but I thought that needed to be said.
Okay, yes.
okay. Jay, do you have any like news? Anything interesting that you?
News?
Yeah, on like Twitter. You saw anything on Twitter? I know you don't have Twitter. But
Oh
like, did you see
yeah,
anything?
yeah. I deleted Twitter because Twitter. Sad. Well, the reason. Well, okay. I do have stuff from generally the Twitter space.
Okay,
However,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah. talk
Yeah?
about it. What do you think?
Well, no, there's
Anything
people getting
interesting?
canceled for like playing Hogwarts and stuff. You know, that's the casual. That's the usual.
Wait, slow down.
Oh, you
Hold
don't know
on,
about that?
No, I don't.
Okay, so essentially, what's happened is there's a new a Harry Potter game that came out.
I'm mad hype for it, but I don't have
Yeah.
my PlayStation because I don't have time to do anything
Nice.
fun in my life.
Yeah, and so you know this new Harry Potter game came out, and they're like, "Oh, cool, let's play the Harry Potter game."
Yeah.
But if you're caught playing the Harry Potter game, you are transphobic, and so
Why?
you can't.
Oh,
because J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the thing is, she had like
Oh.
literally nothing to do with the game at all except for selling the IP.
Yeah.
There's all these people who worked really hard on it. There's even a trans character in the game,
Yeah.
and some people are even using it to promote, you know, trans foundations. I have no opinion on that, but I don't see how you could conflate it with being transphobic.
Well,
I could see how you do it. Whether it is or not.
Yeah,
is,
you can see,
is
you know,
a- is
actually,
a-
he's
is a
like, I can do it
different
right
See,
story,
I
but,
can't
like-
he
go
basically
down-
said he'll do it right now.
See, the thing is, I can't go down stupid brain patterns. Like it just doesn't.
Whoa,
The
whoa, stop. You can't do this, Ezekiel. You
can.
gotta
I
put
can't
it
actually.
down, bro.
I actually can.
You're gonna get canceled.
How are they
bro.
gonna cancel me? They
I'm
can't
not.
find me.
I'm not gonna get canceled with you. I just want to say I do not agree with Ezekiel's opinions at all on this channel.
So you're just like a sheep for the culture, just going along with everyone else says.
Yeah, why not?
She's Andrew Tate Pills.
We are the Lord Sheep after all.
That's different because I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm not gonna go down that road. Anyways,
Okay, anyway, no, but
that
the
would get
thing
me
is,
canceled. That
well, the
one
thing
would-
is,
That
the
would
reason
get
why-
canceled.
wait, would it?
it would.
Talking about like Jesus and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It could. Depending
definitely
on your
would.
You
audience.
saying Jesus is fake? No, wait.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Oh,
No.
Anyway.
Calm
Anyway,
down, calm down.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why people say that is because she makes money off people like buying. If you
Yeah,
buy
but-
the game, then she makes money.
Do you
off
know how
them.
many other corrupt people in the world make money off of things that we buy every day?
So
Yeah.
then-
Like they're like,
Potatoes are also not vegetables.
What are you talking about right now?
it's a starch.
Liam has responded again.
That is so funny.
It's a tuber. It is not a vegetable.
Try
So what's
again.
wrong with that?
What?
He needs to give a
That
vegetable.
potatoes are
Mhm.
are a vegetable.
See, because he gave an answer consistent with like Floridian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that's correct. We're
No,
actually
but
based.
Liam's
I knew.
actually like a person from Florida. You two, you just never been outside. I know this guy's never been outside. I don't know about you. I don't know if you've been outside.
I have not been outside.
I
you're
know
correct.
that. So, okay.
You know,
So that's why you guys.
how
think
did
it's
you
lettuce.
guess that? How did you guess that?
Because you don't go outside. You thought Applebee's was the greatest thing in the world because it was like 2 minutes from your house.
Applebee's is pretty fire though.
Chili.
Oh,
Chili's is better.
Chili's is better.
That's a hot
Right.
take. Are you serious?
No, your thing of Applebee's being good is a hot take.
It is,
No, Applebee's is so minty. Sorry, go ahead.
It is so mid. But one time I was at Applebee's and like me and my parents, we ordered our food, we ate it, and then this old lady, she was sitting there and she was eating her food, and then she was like, "Excuse me, The music is too loud. The music, it's just too. I can't focus on eating. I can't focus on the food if the music is too loud. And so like, okay, we'll turn on the music. They turn like basically like down. There's nothing. She's like, it's still too loud. It's still too loud. And then she finishes her whole meal, licks off the plate. It's clean. The plate's clean. Then she calls the waiter over. She goes, I'd like to return the food. It's no good. It's actually the worst food I've ever had in my entire life. And he's like, there's actually nothing left on there. And she's like, it took me the whole time to process how bad it was. And I couldn't actually comprehend it until because if I only ate a portion of it, then I wouldn't have known it was bad because I wasn't getting a full sample. So I ate the whole thing and I got the entire sample size, and now I can concur. It was an awful dish and I want a refund. And then the waiter brought the manager over and they were like, you can't do that. And she was like, why not? The food was bad and I shouldn't pay for something that's bad. And they were going at it, and then after a while the manager was just like, take it off the bill. Take it off the bill. And she got it for free.
Dang, that's so good. That's genius. Did y'all see what Liam sent back? I think he sent a rebuttal.
He did.
What did he say?
You want to read it?
Look at that.
Vegetable. The definition of a vegetable.
Oh no.
But
in a nutshell, there is no doubt that a potato is botanically a vegetable.
Botanically, but not cookinarily.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Not the same thing, guys.
Cocinarily.
That was definitely racist. That's gotta be racist.
That's not racist. It's a language.
Speaking of racism, also on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, what else? What else on Twitter? I want to know.
Yeah,
I'm not on Twitter.
No.
You probably already know about this because I think it was like on an Abba and Preach and stuff.
You watch Abba and Preach?
A little bit now, because of you. But yeah, so you know how
I just wanted to let the audience know that you just copy everything I do.
that's actually not true.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Because you didn't have a Mac until you saw my Mac.
Ayo.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Well, I look at things that you have that I don't have that are actually better.
Because like
than
one
what I have,
time,
and I take those. But the things that are worse, I just
because one
I don't
time
touch.
you weren't really using your Apple Watch, and then I told you how good it was, and all of a sudden you got an Apple Watch with a Milanese loop.
Oh my god!
And I was the one who told you to get the Milanese loop. You weren't even gonna get it.
Stop!
It only took me an hour to convince him to buy an extra $50 worth at Apple to get a Milanese loop. See, you can't even say anything about it. You know it's true.
Don't be like this. No, the thing is, right? The thing is that I look at things. I'm not gonna be like, oh, because he has it, I can't get it too. What?
Is this thing unplugged?
Yeah, I did it intentionally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because laptops about to die.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
but the thing is, right? Like, I look at like, let's say there's someone's wearing something that I think is cool.
Yeah.
Then I can take inspiration from that.
Mm.
But if someone's wearing something that I don't think is cool, then I will not get it.
Because like whenever I take inspiration for something like code, for example, I do like a thing called Command C and then Command V, and then I click submit.
I see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you
How does
saying
that
you do
work
the
for
same
you?
thing?
Yeah. How does that work for you?
Yeah. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. So I don't do that though. Because like when I do it better. You know what I'm saying?
I
just
see.
change the variable names.
That's not what I meant. But
Jay just stole my code and changed the variable name.
That's the high school classic.
Oh no!
I actually got caught by the cheating algorithm.
Yeah. No, Adam Hart can't catch me. Like he actually. I didn't cheat.
Okay.
I didn't. I actually didn't.
I can't tell now.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. Why would I do that?
I mean, you're watching.
You saw my PSAT grades. I didn't cheat. I did not.
Oh yeah.
Well, unless they were the same as my PSAT grades.
You dropped the class.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
no!
009.
Ooh, that was. You can't come back from that.
What do you mean?
What?
I don't think you understood.
Yeah.
I don't think you understood.
Hey, you got the same grades as me.
That's.
Ezekiel, I have to dap you up for that.
No, don't dap him up.
I actually have
Don't
to
dap
dap you up.
That's gonna fall.
That was so
It's
good.
gonna fall if you keep beating
Yeah,
on
my
the table.
okay,
Wait,
my bad.
can you-
Well, don't say it like that. I'm not
beating on the table.
I'm not.
You're beating on the table.
Yo! Don't play.
Yo.
No,
You
I'm
need to
not.
calm down, Jonathan.
I'm
You're starting to sound
not.
like
It's
Shakespeare.
not Sapo. It's not Sapo.
You're starting to sound like Shakespeare, man.
Whoa, that's not what I meant, guys. I'm not doing that. I swear, I'm Sapo. I'm Sapo.
You're Sapo.
What does
I'm
Sapo stand for?
Sapo.
I don't know.
No, we're not saying. You have to figure it
Yeah,
out.
you gotta figure it out. Because like you got.
It must be like sexual engagement, like.
I don't think SA correlates
Oh,
to
SA.
SE.
Sapo.
Not se, sa.
C.
What is se?
I know.
Like
Like
as
se?
in like saber, like as in like to know a fact.
No, shut up. Okay. No, look. Never mind. I think I get it now.
Oh, you conocer? You understand? Saber?
Concierto.
Yeah.
What? Do you know what he said, my guy?
I know.
Okay. Can you show, put it on Google Translate for us?
Yeah. Look
Oh
up what
no!
concierto is.
Oh no! I actually don't know.
Wait, no.
What do you think it meant?
So that looks different than like what I was talking.
Yeah. What were you imagining in your head?
I know what he's imagining. I know what
Oh,
he's imagining.
you'll say.
You have to look.
Oh.
My guy, you
Said-
can't just look
he
it
said
up.
concierto.
You'll say.
Lo sé? How do you know?
No. Well, I know is you'll say.
Yeah,
but
lo sé.
will say is I know it.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, that is true. That is factual. As a,
Oh.
I forgot Spanish, guys. That's very.
I forgot. Should I take the class? You know you can get a minor, or sorry, you can get a concentration in a language.
Yes.
Then what do
it
you
gets
do?
hard though. Like it gets exponentially harder as you go.
It does get very difficult.
Because by the time you get to like Spanish 3 or 4, it's really hard.
I don't care. That's the point. So you like know that.
No, but the problem is this whole school is hard. It's a problem.
Why is it
Even
so
the
hard?
Haas classes.
I mean, you signed up for it.
The school?
Yeah.
We never finished that point.
Yeah,
this
the thing
school
is
is trash.
The thing is, I wasn't given all the information beforehand,
No,
so
you,
I made.
you had everything you needed. You
no,
knew.
I did. No. I
You
was talking.
knew.
I was talking about this with Evan. Okay, you don't know who Evan is, but I was
Wait,
talking
which one? Wait, what's his last name?
Booth.
I don't know.
I just totally doxed him. That's crazy.
We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out.
We'll cut that. Wait,
We'll
what?
cut that out.
What's
We'll
the
cut that
timestamp?
out.
What's the
What's the
timestamp?
timestamp, right?
We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out.
Shoot. Oh yeah, I can check the timestamp.
We may have to cut out a lot of things here.
46:33.
Okay, yeah. So I was talking to Evan about this, and when I was in high school,
He put in the Google.
Shut up.
Go. There's no way this man recorded a time span in the Google search
We
box.
can literally put it on the whiteboard.
that's not,
Oh,
even,
true.
that's not even the problem.
This is.
It says I know it and dipasme.
And then it somehow knew you what you meant. Hello.
You know,
That's the power of AI. That's the power of AI right there.
Chat GTP.
GTP. My one of my instructors for nanoelectronics, he called it Chat GPS.
Wait, it's Chat GPT. I think I said it wrong. I said
Yes, you did say it
Yeah,
wrong.
you
Yeah,
did.
Chat
But it's
GPT.
okay.
Wait, what was I saying again? I wasn't given all the information. So when I was in high school, I was taking college level classes at colleges. Took some at a community college, some at a state
flexing.
school, and I was thinking to myself, "This is what college is like."
Yeah, keep-
And they told me that MIT is harder than this. I said, "Well, if this is my high school work, this is the college work at two different levels. I had this level, which is community college, this level, which was state school, then like another level, which would
You
be
can draw
Ivy
on the
League,
board
but I
if you
didn't." No, I'm not drawing.
Okay.
Like, let's say Ivy League was supposedly a level higher than a state school, right? So I'm thinking this one was maybe 5% harder than high school. This one was 10% harder than high school. Then Ivy League, by extrapolation, is 15, maybe if it's really extreme, 20, 25%. 25% change from high school, I can do that. We're only taking 4 classes a semester, 25% increase in difficulty, trivial, easy. I would have so much free time, I could do whatever I want. But MIT's harder than that. Okay, it's harder than that. Let's say it's twice as hard as the Ivy League. 50%, that's a challenge. And I like challenges, you know. I can do 50% harder than high school work. That's not even a whole double of what it was before. It's only 50% harder. That's like maybe a little bit more homework. But now I have half the classes, so even if I had double the work, I have so much time now. Then I pulled up to MIT and it was at least 500 times like way harder. I don't understand how it could be that much harder.
Ezekiel, I definitely think you're lying. I feel like my workload at MIT is pretty similar to the workload I had in high school.
What? This guy's
I
a
think
I think you
capping
not.
so
need to
hard.
leave. You need to leave.
Why don't you leave?
You need to leave.
What high
Go do
school
your
were you
homework.
going to?
Go do your homework.
Because multiple people from your school
Oviedo
got
High
in.
School. Well, like
In your
3.
year.
3?
That's
And
insane.
one of
That's
them was
actually-
my sister, so like I don't know if that counts.
Yes, it counts. That's kind of yeah. Wait, so what were you doing
the
in high
other
school?
person is like
What were you doing? Wait, but you were doing extracurricular.
the person I want to tell you more about. You know, like you remember that when we had the conversation?
We had a
I pointed out the person like.
That person from your school?
Yeah.
Your high school. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
No, but like how much homework? Like, was it you were doing extracurriculars,
Well, actually,
which
I
is
was
why?
going pretty crazy in the classes. I'm not gonna lie, but we
Yeah,
don't have to
how?
talk about that.
How? What'd you do?
I was grinding in high school.
In sophomore year, I took 8 AP classes.
Oh, yeah.
There's not.
No
you
ACE?
can't- you
Did
can't
you
even-
have ACE?
Wait, you
What?
can't.
Did you have ACE classes?
What's ACE?
Cambridge.
No, no one cares
No.
about that. We don't, what are you talking about? Go
Go.
away. We don't talk about that.
Go.
No, but it's not even possible to take 8. How many periods are there in the
There's
day?
8.
There's
No, I
There's
took
4 each
It
day.
depends
And
on
it
the high
alternates.
school.
No, I took 8.
Yeah.
The most I ever took was 6.
6? See,
One of them was double period. One of them was double blocked because my school had just switched from 8 periods in a day to
Yeah, my school's doing that
4
too.
a day, and then it would alternate like A days and B days.
Ah, yeah,
And
yeah.
computer science A at that time, it was being offered as double graduation credits, but because it was double the credits, it also had to be given 2 learning periods.
you see, I've
So-
never had imposter syndrome here because I was like, I wouldn't have made it if I wasn't supposed to be here.
Big brain.
But sometimes, like right now, I didn't know you could take 8 AP courses at the same time and still live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible.
It is.
But the thing is, an MIT course is harder than an AP course. It's at least 2 times
Yeah.
harder.
What do you mean?
I have a
What
question,
is this?
though,
This
for
guy
you.
actually about to? Dude, what are you saying?
No.
No,
I have
what
a
are you
question. I have a
saying?
I don't
What
know.
are you
Go
saying
for
right
it.
now?
Go for it.
Were you doing extracurriculars while you're taking these
No.
AP classes?
Then how did you get-
okay, then you're
A loser.
fine.
No. Okay, wait. Actually, not sophomore. Actually, yeah, that was the year. Sophomore. No, wait. Sorry. Junior year was the no.
What happened?
Junior year
Sophomore.
was
and
COVID.
Give us the
junior,
rundown.
I think
Keep
I
going.
took 8 or 7. Like those 2. And junior year, I did 1 extracurricular. I don't know if that counts.
Really?
What was
Yeah,
the extracurricular?
it was so hard.
What was the extracurricular?
I was tutoring people for math.
That's
for,
not
like,
doesn't
club.
count. That doesn't count. That's not. That's
What do
no.
you mean that doesn't
That's
count?
good.
That's
a
good.
good one.
No.
I was doing 3
Did you take their
sports
money?
junior year.
Whoa.
That
What were you
was
taking?
when I did my 6 AP classes.
What was
Me and Jaden are just different. We're like we're actually a different breed from you guys. I was not doing that in high school. I was grinding, but I guess you can grind harder than I did. I didn't know that was possible.
I don't know. People
Yeah.
I'm sick of this.
I think.
I don't belong here.
No,
No, I definitely feel like I belong here, but I feel like I should have thought a little bit harder because I thought really hard before I
Oh,
came
really?
here.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have thought a little bit harder.
I think the reason you didn't understand. Okay, I know why you don't know. The reason you don't know is because you never did competitions. If you did math competitions or science competitions or robotics competitions,
no, but I didn't think it would ever be as hard as a competition because this is not competition. You know, it's about.
it was a
learning.
competition to get into the school.
Yeah,
And
It's
therefore-
like a 3% acceptance rate.
It's 4.
Oh, that was Harvard I was thinking about. Not
Harvard has a higher acceptance rate.
No, it's lower. The year we applied, it was 3%. I
He's
made
looking
it.
this
that
up.
year.
Oh, it's
I think,
Why
I
did you
think
come
the
here?
rates are
No,
different
this-
for early action versus regular decision.
In 2021, it was 4%.
When did I get in?
2021.
Is that true?
Yes.
Is it?
MIT 4.1.
Oh, wait, I think. Oh, so I was right. I was still right.
No, you weren't. Okay.
It was lower.
No, look at that. It says 3.9, but that's for class of 2026.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's not us.
That
Who
is
cares?
definitely not us.
Anyway, the point is that like the people who beat me every competition, that's who I thought were gonna come here, and I was correct.
Oh.
It was better than the people who beat me. It was the people who got first place.
The thing is, when I was in high school, I had to add extra work to max out my difficulty level. And I was like, this is the most amount of effort I can put in. There's nothing more I can give to school. Because I would just hate that. Because I don't like school in the first place. So doing my high school workload plus college workload plus 2, 3, maybe 4 extracurriculars was the max that I could actually reach. So when I came here, I thought it'd be less than that or equal to. Less than or equal to, you know, like the little symbol. Yeah, that thing. I thought that's what it was going to be. But it would just be more academic focus and I have to give up a couple of my extracurriculars. Fair. Fine. But it was past that. I didn't know I had anything past that. I didn't know I was capable of going past my limit. I had like
That's good, though.
I had a vertical like asymptote or whatever.
That's good.
No,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
I broke the laws of math and science to achieve that.
That's good.
No, but it broke me too.
No,
That's good.
that's what they wanted
That's
to do.
life.
So
That is life.
that is.
The
life,
thing is,
you know.
I don't think I should have to think to myself at any given point in my life if I want to sacrifice my health
Mhm.
to do well in school.
That's cool.
Well, you don't have to. That was your choice.
What are
No,
you
but
talking?
I shouldn't have to make that choice. Like
Yeah.
if I choose to
You
be
don't-
healthy,
Well,
I will not do well. in
Anyone
school.
can make that choice.
No, they.
anyone can work so hard that they risk their health. That's not just an MIT thing. You just need to find the way in which you work hard. It's
Yeah, but
easier
at
at
this-
MIT, but like you can find ways to find a sustainable workload and maintain your health at MIT.
That's kind of
Yeah.
cap.
No.
Yes.
No.
You're just not doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not smart enough to
Yeah.
figure
No,
out how
Yes,
to
don't
you
do
are.
say
stuff.
that.
No.
Don't say that.
I actually can't
It
do
has
my homework
nothing
assignments.
to do.
I can't do my
You're
homework
taking
assignments.
77,
This guy's a genius.
You're taking like 63 units.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't be complaining. You're not supposed to take more than 48.
That's not how that works.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
literally
It
how
wasn't even
works.
my fault. They forced me to do this because I just wanted to take one class and they told me I had to take another one. So then they just made me take 2 classes at the same time, which were both lab classes.
Mm-hmm.
You could have planned out your coursework better as well.
Oh, I did plan it. I planned it very hard, and then I noticed that if I took it next semester, I actually would have just ended it.
Nice.
Okay.
So it was slightly better this semester.
So we're at a crossroads here where you believe that no matter what's... So there's multiple claims. One is that the first one, I guess we'll go with, is that you think that like at any school you can like max out, like you can work yourself to the point
I think
where-
that's
Yes,
possible.
absolutely.
It is
no,
possible,
and not
no
just at
doubt.
school.
I don't-
Literally anywhere.
Yeah,
anywhere
but I
can do that.
the thing is,
That's-
usually you have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice here. Just by registering for the
no,
bare
you
minimum.
Do. You could have dropped like 644.
You're-
but you
he
got
wants
it
to
for
graduate on
internship.
time.
Yeah,
He wants to graduate
I
on time.
I want to finish on time.
You could have chosen an easier major. You're doing what, like 8 flex 6
Yeah.
2?
Well, the
what
po-
easier major is there?
614.
That's true.
That's not.
That is true.
I mean, it's technically
18. 18 has so few requirements.
No, but that doesn't mean it's easier.
that actually does not make it easier at all. What
That
are you
actually does not
talking
mean
about?
it's easier.
The amount, you know that the only reason why my course load is hard is purely from coding. I could take
man.
3 or 4 physics classes and it'd be painful, but it still would not consume as much time as coding classes.
Well, you could just do physics then.
Coding.
Bro.
Yeah, but what am I gonna do with a physics degree? Teach?
You'd go in quants.
Well, you're not
You'd
going to do
go in
anything
quant.
with your degree anyways, so you might as
What are
well.
you talking about? What's happening right now? This is actually...
Isn't that what you just said?
I did
Wait,
say
so why
that,
are you-
but
why do
I'd
you think
rather
this way?
have the opportunity to actually work somewhere, you know?
Okay,
I think-
fair enough.
No, because like what he's essentially saying is that the bare minimum requirement of effort you have to put in is so great to where like you have to like
It's
where you're
definitely not. It's 100% not.
Wait, can you reiterate what your statement
He's saying that
was?
like to graduate from MIT,
Uh-huh.
the bare minimum amount of effort you have to put in per semester is so much that you have to risk your health.
I
Yes.
disagree with that.
I also disagree with that.
I don't disagree with that.
I will maintain that with any major, you will never have to risk your life.
You don't. Okay, no
life.
one said. No one said you're.
Life.
Risk your health.
What's
Risk your
that?
health. That was a little extreme. Risk your health in order to graduate on time. I will
And-
maintain that.
Okay, but
Any
I'm talking
major.
about doing well.
You can still do
you
well.
can still do well.
We're going to different schools here.
Yo,
Me
this-
and
I did
Jaden,
club soccer
No.
twice a
Me-
week last semester, and I did pretty well in my classes.
That's.
and I worked
me and
out on the
Jane
weekends.
go to a different school.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
apparently this
I
is
don't
simply
know.
how this works.
Guys.
It's possible.
It is definitely
Bro,
possible.
Half the time, I'm like, I want to go to bed now. I'm tired. And you know, back in the day in high school, if I was tired, I just go to bed. That's it. That was it. If I'm tired, if I stayed up one night a little bit too late, I'm going to bed.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like, oh, if I go to bed now, I actually fail. Like that's it. That's it. And the thing is, if I fail a lab, that's it for me. The class is over. They just
Yeah.
auto fail me.
Oh yeah, in triple.
And then
four,
you'll
yeah.
have less work.
I will have less work.
Yeah,
And one
but
less
you also
degree.
won't graduate.
No. PDF.
PDF.
Sorry, no.
It's just gonna be a
Yeah.
fail.
You know?
It's,
Oh right. Sorry. Oh wait, that doesn't
What am I-
say if you fail. I forgot.
yeah, that's funny, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
it's
I'm
great.
sorry. That's not what I
Yeah.
meant.
Wait,
I
don't know.
didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but like, I don't know. I don't know if you're. I just think that like the way that we conduct ourselves in terms of the way we do homework and study is very different, and therefore that's why we have different opinions.
I think I put in more hours than I output results. So for me, I put in so much time and get minimal back from it.
I see.
So most of the time, I feel like I'm wasting my time, and then I have to make a choice. And I'm like, I can just give up now and go to bed, or go to the gym, or actually eat food, or drink some water, or get up from my desk, or I could keep grinding on this and maybe pull off an extra % on the homework assignment.
It sounds like an easy decision to me.
It does,
Yeah.
but that extra % is crucial.
Thing is, he's not comp sci, so he needs a good GPA.
Him?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
you're.
not comp sci either.
Yeah, so you need like a decent GPA.
I'm barely
Relative-
comp sci.
Huh?
I'm barely comp sci.
Yeah, but you have a good GPA.
Yeah.
You do. I bet you
Okay,
do
yeah,
have a GPA.
that's fair.
And I have. Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
talk
we're not
about it.
I'm still.
Not out ourselves.
You know, I feel like that scene in Avatar:
Which one?
Last Airbender when like what's his name, like Jed or whatever, like he gets hit by a rock and it's ambiguous if he died or not. That's how I
Yes.
feel about how with Jaden in 6006.
No! Calm down.
What does that
Calm
mean?
down.
I'm
We're erasing the name of that class. We cut that out. We cut it out.
I'm just confused. I
Why?
don't know what happened.
Guys,
Oh, okay.
chill out.
Because I remember I went to
We
Taco.
don't-
I went to
we don't-
Taco
we don't-
Tuesday.
we don't have
You went to
talk about
Taco
this.
Tuesday? When was this?
Yeah, with
Oh, wait,
you
was I
and-
there?
yeah.
Okay,
And
keep going.
you
Was it the second before the second double six exam?
Yeah, and you were like,
Or sorry,
oh
the
yeah.
second other exam.
Yeah, it was right before an exam, and
Which
like
one?
Jaden was like,
This exam that we're talking about.
The final?
No.
This midterm, second midterm.
Oh,
It was the graph one.
nice.
Sorry, not the graph one. It was the second section of the unit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
yeah, and then that was the last time I heard Jaden talk about 6006.
You should have taken that class. It was pretty fire.
You see, this is why we have a difference of opinions.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, I actually don't think academics are interesting at all.
Base.
That's kind of a sad life.
Yeah.
It definitely is. If you like academics, your life is way easier here.
Yeah,
You're
here.
correct.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Here.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the
Not
problem.
just here. Like I feel like
Are you saying in general in college?
in college in
That's
general,
some cap.
your life will be easier if you enjoy academics.
That's not necessarily true.
No, it always is.
When you
It literally always is. If you
Okay.
enjoy the what takes up like
The thing
50%
is-
of your time.
the thing
yeah,
is, it doesn't
that's
have to
perfect.
take up 50% of your time.
No,
You're
but
correct.
it takes more than 50% of my time. The only other time I'm not doing academics is when I'm asleep and I'm dreaming about it because I need to finish the P set. So it's actually
I also
100%.
dream about pieces sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's actually
man.
100% of the time.
That's kind of
Is
sad.
that problematic?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Oh, to always dream about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's cool. So then, do you see a problem with that?
A problem with what?
Yeah, you see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
What's the problem? I'm not understanding.
I
I
think
don't
I just care about myself a little too much. You know.
Aw, that's sad. Wait, no.
That was
Oh, wait, when you say it like that, it sounds.
You know,
The thing is,
he's saying
he
he's
means
not
something
giving
different.
himself enough credit. I care about you, Ezekiel.
What? That's not what he
No,
says.
wait,
That's
no.
not what
That's
he
not
what
what
I
you're saying?
said. No.
No, I'm not supposed to get happy right now.
When you could.
You're not supposed to get sappy. Period.
Oh.
Oh, that's sad.
No, you can if you want. But like,
No, I'll save it. I'll save it for later.
wait. So what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that like I actually just care about like my life too much to
Yeah.
feel like I'm wasting it doing nothing.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, okay. So the problem is that you feel like you're spending way too much time on homework. That's
Yes.
not adding enough value to your life.
Yes.
I feel like
That's actually the same
could
person.
find a way
No,
to fix
okay.
it.
I can.
How can I fix it?
You just have to add value. You have to find a way to make it valuable to you.
The thing is, the only way something I think has value is if, like, 3 months later after doing it, it still had a positive impact on you.
Mhm.
And I've never had that for a piece set. All the pieces I've done, 3 months later, it's gone. It's gone.
Not individually, but as an
Aggregately,
yeah, as an aggregate.
It was a
you're-
net positive, net negative.
yeah.
There's no way.
Well, I would argue. Well, it depends on what you value. It depends on what you value. That's why you have to shift what you value.
Economics, baby.
Yeah.
That's utility
I don't
right
know-
there.
I don't
That's
think that's.
utility right there.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one way to
14
put
to
it.
1, you know.
But the thing is, it depends on what you value, and so if you shift your values from what you currently
Change
have,
your utility function to make your current point the maximum point. Why haven't we been
Yeah,
doing this all along?
he's
crazy.
right. He's right. But the thing is, it's not easy to do that. I guess.
No, it is. You just erase and change the utility function.
If only that worked.
It did. It does.
It does.
I do it on a daily.
No.
Obviously.
It does work, but I didn't want to do it for academics because I felt like if I did that for academics, then I lose who I am.
There's a show called Severance where basically what happens when you go to work, you like an alter ego of yourself does the work, and then when you leave work, you're your normal self. So you never ever experience doing work, and the other person who's inside the workplace only ever experiences work. And the show is about how basically the people inside are slaves because they know nothing about the outside world. They don't know anything about their outside self. And all they're forced to do is work, but they don't even know what the work is because they don't know why they applied for the job. They don't know why they're in the job. They don't know like what the point of the job or why they do anything at all. And that's how I feel at MIT, except I experience both. Actually, no, I'm just the guy on the inside.
Thing is, you know why you did this.
No, I don't.
You didn't have to do this.
I know.
Oh my
You're
god.
like, you could have went somewhere else.
I could
You
have.
could have gone to Harvard and gotten more money.
I could have.
Do our people make more money? I don't know about that.
No, but I would have gotten a better
On
scholarship.
average,
Yeah,
no.
Oh, I
it was
see.
last year that he got more money from Harvard.
Oh.
I don't know. I hate to say that. 'Cause I never say I regret anything I do. I'll never say that ever.
So there's like there's positives and negatives to each situation, but the thing is, it may be worth it for you to temporarily change what you value, but
I have done that. Last year I cared about my academics. Now I actually care about myself. But then now I'm just like, when I made that shift.
I think it depends what about yourself, because I think like you shift what you value about yourself.
Yes. Oh, I can't. I just realized that the way I was living the past 3 semesters was unsustainable, and I had to make a change.
Yeah.
And I did make a change.
Nice.
And then in doing so, it made me realize that all the other stuff I was doing were actually detrimental to me before.
Okay.
In the long term,
Yeah.
got you. But in the short term, they seemed good.
Well, I got better scores on my homework assignments. And
Nice.
True.
Okay. That's interesting.
That is an interesting thing. Can we give a PSA on
PSA?
on imposter syndrome?
Oh,
Because
sure.
I feel like some people watching this could obtain imposter syndrome. As someone who oftentimes will watch others do things that I can't and get kind of irrationally distressed about it, I feel like imposter syndrome. I'm trying to be empathetic here, so you can sit down.
Sure.
I'm already sitting down.
Yeah, exactly. So just keep saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna say. I feel like you do you. You do not have to be like stressed out by this. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, what you should-
What
I
I
think-
say, no matter what I say, I feel like I come across as like condescending.
Well,
That's the thing.
I mean,
I
does it
could
really
think of-
matter?
huh?
It doesn't matter. You
With
can't
what?
control how other people feel about you. You might as well just be yourself.
Be myself.
Yeah.
Well, you can control what other people think about you by changing yourself.
No, but you don't know what they're thinking. So
No,
in
you
changing it, you could actually make it worse.
You could.
Because I've done that before, and then people hate me.
Nice.
Like I
Yeah.
became
Wow.
a better person, and people liked me less.
Wait. It's about 10. Should we
see the
video?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can watch a video. Unless you have a little bit more world news that you want to talk about on Twitter. You're saying something?
Oh,
Race?
world news? No.
Nothing?
Oh, about that's not gonna happen.
No.
Wait, just
No.
sneak peek it.
Sneak
Nah,
peek it for what? For Patreon?
nah.
Yeah, I just want to hear.
Nah.
No.
I don't think we want.
Wait,
I
no,
don't-
it's not crazy.
It's not
No,
crazy.
it's not crazy. It's just
Okay.
Twitter.
No, it's
Okay.
not crazy.
Twitter's not crazy.
Okay.
I've never seen
Okay,
bad
no.
takes on Twitter.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've never seen anything like crazy said on TikTok. It's just all
Oh,
base
yeah.
stuff, of
It's all
course.
based. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, but like, I didn't see this on Twitter myself. But when I download Twitter, that's gonna be really dangerous. Like, I'm gonna see so much stuff.
Okay, anyways.
But anyway, the
yeah.
thing was talking about how I think it was on TikTok actually, but like about talking about how white people are being demonized. for
Oh
no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so and how that's like not good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like people don't really take that into account, especially like the younger generation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, clearly you didn't take the DEI training yet.
No.
Because in the
Why?
DEI
Why?
training, because there's a guy named Tony, right? I'm gonna tell you about Tony. He's very famous in the DEI training, and of course, since I am the DEI master, I remember Tony. Tony is
Oh, yeah.
my friend, and Tony needed help.
Oh wait, was
So
this
Tony-
the
what was
sombrero
his
party?
race?
Yeah,
What was his
Tony-
race? Because that matters.
Tony, because the first sentence in the DEI training says Tony is white. This is an essential part of Tony's identity.
Nice.
In fact, this is the only thing we know about Tony.
Nice, he's
Tony
white.
is white. Now, I'm doing some literary analysis right here. So the first sentence is Tony is white. Now, this is telling a lot about his identity. Number one, we learned that he's white.
Nice.
Number two, we learned that he is white. And number three, this is the deepest part about him. He's white.
Nice.
So now that we understand everything we need to know about Tony, we can now analyze his actions to see what kind of person he is. So
Nice.
Tony's having a birthday party, and he thought, oh man, you know what'd be great? I think I just want to celebrate something different this year. How about we have a salsa and sombrero party? Sounds like a lot of fun because there's gonna be salsa, there's gonna be actual dancing salsa, sombreros. He's gonna invite all his friends. They're gonna play some Latin music. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, DI asks you a simple question. A, is Tony having a good party? B, you're not sure. Or C, Tony is an awful person who's culturally appropriating a certain culture and should be demonized
The
and
options
should
were
be
more
actually
nuanced
hated.
than that. The options were more nuanced
Okay,
than that.
what were the options?
Definitely. We can pull it up
I
No,
right
we're not
now.
pulling it
no,
up.
no.
That's the gist of the options. Which is
Yeah.
the correct answer? Because I know which one's the correct answer, as I am the DEI master.
Oh
but
yeah.
I just want to hear from all of you guys.
Nice.
No.
Which one do you think is
I haven't-
correct?
I haven't
Is
been
this
seeing
Okay,
it.
I actually think there is a case to be made that it is cultural appropriation.
Why?
I just feel like it is, you know?
I see.
Ezekiel's show.
This guy.
Because, like, I guess maybe if you don't understand the cultural significance of it, it could be seen as insulting.
True.
So I can definitely understand.
let's
the
So
say-
you're
viewpoint.
trying to tell
I'm
me.
not
let's
saying.
say-
Wait, hang on. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that. I'm just saying I can empathize
No,
with that
it's
viewpoint.
okay. It's okay. Every time a little kid has a pinata at his birthday party, I understand he's racist. I understand that. I'm just trying to understand.
Well, no, they're not saying that they're racist. The
No, that's-
unfortunate
that's-
reality is that, again, I'm not saying I agree with this. The unfortunate reality is that the pinata has been taken from its roots in,
The
I think,
unfortunate
Mexican
reality.
culture. Wait, let me finish. I think it's Mexican culture. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Mhm.
And
I hope
transposed
you're
into the U.S. as if it's its own. You know, we sort of stole it as its
I don't
cultural
We
think that
property.
stole
that's
it
true.
from its
I don't
cultural
think that
value.
it.
Why not?
Okay, I don't think, for example, taking your example of the pinata, I don't think it's a bad thing for it to have been absorbed into American, like, you know, we have the choice to get a pinata. I don't think it's bad for that to happen because that's like an example of cultural exchange, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is the argument for there to just not be any cultural exchange at all? Like, for example, the American South, particularly with like the Black South, like there's like soul food and, you know, fried chicken and
The best part.
sweet potato pie, like that, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
Does that mean that nobody in the North can have that food because
No.
it's restricted for you know, Black church Sundays after service, you know? So it's like, while I can see, you know, how it can be desecrated in a way if it's transported from Mexican culture or whichever nation it comes from into American culture, I don't think it's done with any malice ever. I think it's just
No, definitely not.
But
Yeah,
I think
that's the point.
the
The
point
intent.
of view is that
Well,
Trying-
it's
trying to-
the whole, but like part of the reality of living as a human is just because you don't intend to harm someone doesn't mean you didn't.
Yeah, but if I try not
But
to
that's not
intend
my
to
problem.
harm, like if I try everything possible not to harm anybody, I actually can't live my life. I can't do anything.
You'd fail anyways. You'd find a way to harm someone.
Yes, because I do that every day. Every day at Vassar, when I go about my life and try and do good things, I hurt someone, and I don't know
Yeah.
how. But
Yeah.
people have let me know that I do.
Yeah.
So, and I try and fix it, but then I just actively hurt myself, and then I live a painful life, and then people still complain about it.
Ezekiel, I feel like you're starting to use these podcasts as your therapy sessions.
That's okay.
And I kind of vibe with it, honestly.
Yeah. I just feel like, why do anything? You know, just give up.
But back
Well,
to
the
the
thing
point
is-
on. Sorry.
Yeah,
No, you go.
back to the.
Back to the point on cultural appropriation. I think it's like an interesting question to think about because honestly, I could see it both ways. I really could, and I don't think there's
What's the correct
necessarily.
answer, guys? Because I need to do the DE chart.
What do you think the correct answer is, Jaden?
I think it's none of the above.
No, that's not one of the options. You got three choices.
Oh, it's not. What was the middle one?
The middle one was something like
I don't know.
It was like
you said I don't know.
it's like something like it's like you're not sure if
Wait, are you
Tony's a completely awful person. Or something.
Oh. Wait, it would have made sense if the middle option was like, oh, I invited my Mexican friends, so it's okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't matter if he invited Mexican friends because that'd be actually worse. Because
I mean, if we're thinking about it in the lens of like cultural appropriation being a bad thing, it would be because now you're showing them to their face that you stole their culture.
No, but what if the party's for them?
yeah,
Like,
What if you
if
made it like
we're
that?
accepting that as a premise? That's
what
I'm
if
saying.
what if all his friends are Mexicans or Latinos or Latinas? That's a
Then
problem.
I
That's
guess-
that's also a problem. I would
guess
think
you
that's a
should have done
problem.
that. I guess.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
I don't think
just
that was the point. That wasn't even the point of like the video. You know that.
that wasn't the video. Oh, the video. Let's talk about Jose.
Wait, no.
What are you talking? Oh,
Wait.
what?
Can I just like say something though?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
with your last statement of like, if you bring Mexican people in, you know, it could be seen as like rubbing it in their face.
It could
of,
be.
like, but does that mean that, you know, Christmas is a Christian holiday, right?
Oh.
Does that mean that anybody who doesn't celebrate or who's not a Christian and they celebrate Christmas, does that mean that they appropriated Christmas from the Christian?
Potentially.
Actually, I
And that-
actually kind of agree with that one.
wait,
No, wait.
like-
And see, that brings up an interesting point.
Wait,
There are a lot of
are you
cases where we
offended by
have
I'm
like.
not offended by that. I just think that like they're not getting the full value of it.
Right.
Well, it doesn't. Does that
But it doesn't
matter?
hurt me in any way, shape, or form. I just feel a little bit disappointed.
That's fair. But I think that brings up an interesting point, right?
Yeah.
You can have two parallel situations and you think one way in one and another way in another. It just shows like a lack of consistency
thing
in your
is,
logic.
I'm-
And resolving that lack of consistency is the key to forming your own morals. And there's no like right or wrong answer necessarily. It's just whichever one you think is better.
No, I don't think that's how that works at all.
No?
I don't think you can just like decide which one's better. I think one just has to be better.
No.
What has to be better?
Because if everyone has a different definition of which one is better, then we're not getting anywhere.
Exactly.
It's the
That's
same
life.
thing with, like,
That's life.
Who defines what offensive is and who defines what is appropriate?
Exactly.
Because the thing is, like, I don't like if I'm gonna have a party and I've been practicing my salsa skills in my salsa class here at MIT, and I want to have a salsa party. I shouldn't have to be thinking about like, oh man, I'm gonna be culturally. I
Why
like
not?
I like the culture. Like I like it. What's wrong with me celebrating
The thing
it?
is, guys.
And the only reason why he called it salsa and sombreros is because it has the alliteration in it. That's the only reason why he called it that. He could have called it anything else, but he chose it because it was a cool name. He wanted to put it on the little invitation cards. You tell me you can't do that? I would call it salsa and sombreros. That'd be
Again,
cool.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm just saying that I think there's merit to both viewpoints.
I don't understand the other viewpoint though. I think
Well,
like
that's a good exercise in empathy for you then.
No, but I
Well,
can't-
okay, the
I
thing
just-
is, I think you have to talk to the people who could potentially be offended by this thing, and then understand because you can't.
but I don't
'cause you're
understand how could you be offended?
No, sure. Anyway, because I think the part that's missing here is that like, you have to understand. You kind of have to get into them. Like you're basically placing yourself in the mind of that potential person and assuming what they would not like or what
I
they would
actually, that's a good point actually. The
So
TI
you're-
training
and
sort
same
of
for you.
assumes that without necessarily
Yeah.
presenting
No, 'cause
any
the thing is-
evidence that people think like that.
like. Yeah, and
For me
and
personally, I probably would have asked someone who knows a little bit more about. If I really want to have like an authentic like Mexican party, I'd probably ask someone who's from Mexico. Hey, how would I go down with this, right? But that's just for me because I like to have things done well and correctly. But at the same time, I also don't think there's anything wrong with just deciding, I'm going to have a party theme this year and I'm going to play Mexican music, we're going to dance salsa, and I'm going to have little sombrero hats hanging around and we can eat like Mexican food. I think that's like a nice way, like especially if you haven't really experienced that culture too much, I think that's a nice way to try and get a little bit of an understanding of it rather than just being like, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to be villainized because I'm appropriating their culture when I just wanted to experience it in the way that I could.
And that's a fair opinion to have.
But I don't understand how someone like I can't put me personally I have a very hard time with this because I'm not one race, but I actually just can't think of how if I was a certain race and I saw someone doing something that was from my race that I was, because like the people who aren't invited just don't know about it. So I'm presuming that people invited know this person. I can't see like how I would see you having some party related to my culture and I head over there and I would just be so disrespected unless you did something like blatantly disrespectful. Like I like it'd be so hard to do that. I think.
Here's the thing. For myself, I'm a person who gets easily disrespected in a lot of cases where I really, really shouldn't. So even if I don't necessarily understand a point of view, or like I think it's unreasonable to hold a point of view, I still have the ability to empathize with that because I often have unreasonable points of view because I'm an irrational and emotional human being. And I assume it's the same for everyone. There are things that irritate people that really shouldn't irritate them.
I can agree. Like I have a lot of things that if I'm living with someone just won't slide. And I can't understand why they do it. I just simply cannot understand. I can't understand how you could like eat something and not brush your teeth before you go to bed. That's something that forever bothers me. I can't understand those things. I understand. I just can't understand a lot of things. I'm not saying that anybody has done these things to me, and I'm not gonna say any more. But I just think that I don't understand these things. But at the same time, I just don't understand them. Actually, I can't empathize with it either because I would never do that.
Okay.
I
I
mean-
think we should get Ezekiel some empathy lessons. That'd be good.
Wait.
The thing is,
I don't think that's necessarily the
I
problem.
can understand like someone goes through a traumatic situation. I can feel bad. I can be like, yeah, that's tough. But I can't feel bad that if I had a salsa party because I've been taking salsa lessons, that you're gonna get offended at it because I wanted to do something from your culture. I can't see how that would be a problem.
Okay.
And I oftentimes see, like, it's not even the people from that culture that feel offended. It's, like, people like me that are on the other side that get offended.
That's also
on
true.
behalf of those people.
That is also true.
And I'm just like, isn't that even more condescending?
Yeah, and then they go to people of that culture and they're like, you agree, right? Like you agree because you're that color. Yeah,
Yeah,
so like
and they
you
can
must
care
agree.
Less. They don't really care what you do as long as you don't, like, you know, are obviously racist or obviously disrespectful for
like
them.
it's one. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
You're
you.
good.
Yeah, but like I think it's one thing like if you put on like one of those mustaches like that's like maybe traditionally Mexican, then you had like little cocaine bags and stuff, and then you had like money bags and stuff, and then you had like salsa everywhere, and then you just had like Tex-Mex tacos, and then you had like a Tex-Mex burrito instead of just a normal like actual authentic burrito, and then you're just like mi amigo, it's my party time. I was like, what are you at that point?
Why did I turn Italian though?
I don't know. He's like, it's a fiesta. And you're just like, then at that point, I'd be like, this person's being blatantly like trying to be offensive. They're doing this whole thing, and it's awful. But I don't think the normal person's doing that. Tony, because he's simply white, does not mean that he's gonna go do something out of pocket like that. He's just literally going to have a party where they're gonna salsa dance. They're gonna wear sombreros. They're gonna all learn about a little bit of this culture. They're gonna celebrate it. They're gonna have some fun and have a nice feliz cumpleaños. You know, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the real problem comes in because depending on which group is doing which thing, the way people think about it changes, right? Because
that's correct. I just said that.
Because if a Mexican did it, then I wouldn't have a problem.
I literally just said that.
If Tony was,
I think that's kind of a problem.
If Tony was a Latino, then it would have been fine.
But because if you notice, like if for instance, right, like a lot of like America in particular has done like very bad things to like the Middle East, and so if we were to start, if like white people were to start like doing like Middle Eastern parties while like we're nuking their countries, like that'd look really bad, right? Like even if we're like doing it faithfully, like it just like it looks like we're rubbing it in or something. I don't know. Right?
So like if someone wants to have like Israeli food
okay,
at their party,
I think that's
like,
fine. Okay, it happens Israeli food's fine, but I actually see where Jane's coming from. The thing is, I guess it's the example of Tony is just so bad in so many ways because America has so many people who are from the Latin American countries that it's become part of our cultures and like traditions. We even say words that are Spanish just in our like our normal like vocabulary. So I think it's a little bit harder to get offended by it. But if you're talking about something that's like abstracted a couple more from that and there's not like as much of it woven into the culture, I can see how someone may think it's a bit weird. I still don't think they would get fully offended, but just see it as weird.
Because do you know what's interesting? Because like thing is, right? Like white people have been doing this with Japanese culture for years.
Yes.
They be throwing Japanese. They put like Japanese words on the wall. They put like.
In
Japan
Japan, does the same with American culture too.
Yeah.
There's like a huge cultural shift. Not shift, but
swap.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah, but like no one really cares about that. They just call them cringe. You know what I mean? But, like, it's like strange. I think it just has to do with like the image of the other group being marginalized, and because that group is
marginalized. Why do you use that word?
But I don't even know. That's not a word, is it? I feel.
No,
marginalized
it is a word.
But why do you use that word?
What does that word mean?
Marginalized.
Put them in the margins.
Like,
put them in the margins, like Vermont spruce. You know.
It's like discriminated against.
Yeah. So like when I say that, I use that word because I mean like groups where the common consensus is that like they're like
the consensus.
Yeah, like the consensus of like.
That's what he said.
I know. I was repeating.
Where the consensus of like people
I don't know why
who
you have to
exist on
clarify.
Twitter.
I don't know why you gotta clarify. That's what
I wasn't clarifying. I was just repeating what he said.
That's a clarification, though.
No.
So you're just repeating.
Yeah.
So why did you repeat it?
I just wanted to.
That's fair. It adds emphasis, you know, but like repetition.
Yeah. Now that I remember.
The alliteration.
That's not
alliteration. Repetition is a form of alliteration.
That's
I don't like that.
It's true though.
That's cheating.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's crazy.
You're talking about assonance.
No,
what does that mean?
You were talking. Well, I had asked you like, why do you use the word marginalized, and you were going on about why you use that. word.
Yeah. So because like generally it's like when you're taking the culture from a group that like somehow been like oppressed in the past or something, because like you're kind of like that's generally like how it works.
How have the Japanese people been oppressed in American history?
Exactly. And well, like they have. But, like
yeah, they definitely have.
They have. What?
I'm not.
What do
What?
you-
Eh?
I think she was just asking. It was just a question. It wasn't like a
It
statement.
wasn't a. Yeah.
Okay. No, wait. Okay.
They
I'm
were
sorry,
they
what
were
you
put into
said.
concentration camps.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like
That did happen.
Enforceable railroads and stuff in the
Yes.
West.
So you're saying like a lot.
But they have, but the consensus isn't that like they're like the most marginalized group.
No,
And
it's because they're successful.
yeah, and
here in
because
America.
exactly. So Ezekiel knows where I'm going with this. Because like Japan is a successful country where like their standard of living is very high. Like people think it's like okay to like.
But it's also I also think it's
Because
interesting.
basically they can defend themselves on something like I don't know.
Like last note on this before we watch our video. I just think it's interesting because I often see people who are immigrants from Africa usually tend to do better than African Americans,
That's true.
which I think
Well,
is
that's just brain drain.
Brain drain.
Brain drain.
That potentially could be
Brain drain is basically where like from poorer countries, the smarter people tend to move to richer countries to get better opportunities because they
Yeah.
can because they're smart.
That's true.
just true.
So that's just sampling bias. It has
So
nothing to do
that's-
with
So you're
like,
saying that
it has nothing to do with Africans being inherently smarter, or it could.
I wasn't.
I think he was
This
saying
guy-
That's not the
that.
point I was
I
making.
think he was just saying. how-
Okay, just checking.
I was just making
mean,
a statement,
okay.
an observation.
Okay.
There was no any intention behind it. There was no I don't know.
So what were you saying?
I was just saying. I just
Going
said.
from-
Yeah, I was just saying that that's something I
Yeah.
noticed.
I feel like when you say that, you're trying to imply something though.
He
No,
was.
I
But,
was?
like, it was. Yeah, you were. You were implying something different than what he was implying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I know what he was
implying
going to
something.
imply, but it was different. I think.
Okay, anyways, let's watch the video. What videos we got?
We may have
for
to come
today?
back to this.
Yeah, maybe another episode.
Maybe another
Yeah.
episode. Okay.
I don't know. Racial dynamics are very interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, they're complicated.
Yeah. Don't look at that. Piñatas come from Mexico, guys, not Spain.
Well, it says
Well, you got rid of it.
Yo.
So.
So
no.
no.
videos are also
These are
long.
so good. And he was.
Great.
Hey!
Is the most
Yo!
attractive.
When was that one from?
Wait,
Go
choose
back,
that one.
go
Choose
back,
that
go
one.
back.
Wait, who's that from?
7
Jubilee.
months is kind of long ago. We want something more modern. Just go to the channel. Go to the channel
The
page.
Jubilee channel.
Yes.
I think.
Videos. Don't stop it. Wait. Let's do this. You want to do sorority girls one?
No, that's too long. Too
Biden
long. Too long.
divorces.
Those are way
We need
too
we need
long.
to choose short ones.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
no more than like 15 minutes ideally.
Hmm.
ASMRist, bro. We were just doing
No.
No, no, we're
ASMR.
not doing
No,
that. We're not doing that.
no way.
What's another good channel? Beta Squad? Is Beta Squad good?
There-
There's
never
there's
remember.
one of these I think where they rank people's IQ.
Birkin.
Who's your favorite parent?
Myself.
How are you better than your parents?
They didn't spank my daughter the way they spanked
Oh,
me.
nice.
That was her whole thing?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
That's base.
Who's your favorite parent?
Oh, that's tough. That's a hard
Oh, it's
question.
Ooh, do I have to answer?
I genuinely don't know. It's hard. I'm a kid from divorced parents.
Both my parents are really cool. Like they're both great in their own way. And my dad's a butterfly expert. My mom's funny as hell. Like I don't know.
A
Who's your
butterfly
favorite
expert.
parent?
So I've had therapy about that. I don't have a favorite.
I think you can tell the
but
people who
my
didn't have good
sister's my
parents.
favorite parent. My mother had 5 kids.
Okay.
And didn't really manage all of us at once, so my sister took care of the younger ones.
My grandma was my favorite parent.
My grandma.
My grandpa and my grandpa, he passed away a couple of years ago, but I have a tattoo. It's his handwriting on me, so I have it
Aww.
forever.
You know what would have to be
Jinx.
my stepdad. He was quite a guy.
He's shown me like so much love and support, even though I'm not his biological child.
Who's your favorite parent?
Why should she's gonna cry before you ask the question?
That's
Don't be
hard.
mean.
My favorite?
It's fine.
My father.
My dad.
My dad. Dad.
Pops first is my best friend, unfortunately. Rest in peace, God.
My father was my favorite parent, but he passed away.
He was a very insightful man.
He worked really hard to make sure that we were taken care of.
Working 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, whatever.
My dad is the one that's probably had the most impact on who I am.
Even when he's hanging out with me and my friends today, he just kind of blends in and becomes one of the boys.
My dad has always
That's
just
very
reaffirmed that I am.
That could happen with my
Me and
dad.
my dad bond more
You think so?
Oh, she's
Nope.
my dad.
Hell, I was than your dad.
Hell no. He knows what it is.
He knows what it is. He knows what it is.
Make boys cry?
That's.
My mother. Oh my god. that's
Why?
The easiest question in the world. My dad is a piece of shit.
What did your dad do?
My biological dad? Well, not a goddamn thing.
My dad was not really
The picture. My dad wasn't really around.
So my mom was playing.
This is kind of sexist, bro. Even when they're talking about their moms, they're still talking about the dads. There's no way.
I think that's why they cut the video.
Had opportunity.
That's why they called cut.
He made his decision.
They cut all the important
Yeah,
parts
yeah,
out.
Wow, really? No.
I can't answer that. I don't know. I plead the fifth, yo. I don't know.
What do you go to when something bad happens?
100%, I'll always go to my mom if something bad happens.
I just know my dad's reactions are kind of like, he'll jump over it. I'll be like, hey, this happened. He'll be like, yeah, so it's sunny outside. I'll be like, wait, hold on, I just said.
I definitely go to my dad as my mom doesn't take the headline very well.
If I'm calling to just complain, my mom. But if I'm calling because I needed some shit handled, I'm calling my dad.
Who's your favorite parent?
Both my parents are super cool. Throughout my life, it's shifted between my mom and my dad.
This is a hard video to react to. I had nothing to say.
I'm processing.
Shout out to moms.
My mother, no question to ask.
My mother.
There we go. There we go.
All the way.
I hope my dad doesn't see this.
I like how there's reoccurring characters on Cut. They just get the same people to do the videos over and over again.
She became someone that I could count
Just
on.
interesting.
She was always the one that was like, do what you want to do. And I always talk dad into it.
I would have to be a mama's boy. Grow up being a mama's boy.
What do you think?
Depends on who's asking. I say no. My exes would probably say yes.
I would have answered a while back that it was my mother, but things have come to light since my father died. That
We'll
now,
sleep
like,
soon.
What the fuck?
I'm still working on my relationship with my mom. Kind of lost touch after my dad passed.
She has her neurotices, but I know that she would do anything for us, and I'm not
It's a big
positive
worry.
that my dad would.
Who's your favorite parent?
My mom. But my mom also has too many mommy issues, so.
Things are complicated in our relationship, but I choose to love
Daddy
her.
issues with
We butt
moms.
heads more, but our
I think
bond
they're
is
different,
very
actually.
strong. As I've gotten older and see my mom more as a human being, I've come to respect her so much more.
Who's your favorite parent?
My mom died 5 years ago. And when we did her funeral, I said the greatest part about having my mom was she taught me what I wanted in a woman. And I remember when my mom died, I had to talk to my dad, and I told him, you know, when you left me with mom, when the fuck did you come back?
Bro.
No, you're good. You just got me. That was a hard question.
Wow.
That was the most heartfelt one.
That was definitely the most. They said that for the end for a reason.
Yeah.
Wait, now we have to ask y'all
What
a
are y'all's
question.
parents?
Yeah.
What are y'all's
Well,
parents?
Ezekiel,
I'm
you
not
start.
answering that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany.
Maybe my dad.
Okay, fair enough.
No comment.
I also have no comment.
Wow. Okay.
So why'd you
I'm
not
really
do that?
assertive.
No, because like I could,
Oh,
but
so you have
out
an
of
actual
respect for
opinion.
my parents, I will not.
You have an actual opinion on it?
I do have an actual opinion on it.
So you do think
it's
one is
such a
better than the
nuanced
other?
opinion.
Maybe.
Like you can't really. There's no objective.
No, okay, yeah.
There's no objective way to measure this. It's, okay, so first, what like goes into like deciding that? Or,
It's easy. How you feel about it, though?
Well, the thing is, I think
that's like a trash way to look at things.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't know. It just seems like these people had,
Oh wait.
you know, interesting experiences. So
Yeah.
I think some of them was easier than others to
Yeah,
decide.
definitely.
It's different, but the thing, well, what I'm asking essentially is like, do you value like how they shaped you as a person, or how they disciplined you, or like how much love they showed it, or like what, like, you know, because people have different weightings for each of these things.
I would say yes and no.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I mean,
They made a lot of mistakes.
Well,
yeah, I mean, the thing is like,
No, but they made like some pretty bad ones, and they left some like scars on my personality.
the thing is, as you get older, you start to realize that your parents are just humans too. Like they're just like you, but they're older, and you know they may have more life experience. So like it's a little bit hard. Like you can't really fault them for doing things. Like I mean, like if they did something completely awful, then of course, you know. But I think it's a bit harder if they were doing the best they could. Like for example, say you had a single mom and she had to work all the time, but she was doing the best she can to raise you the best she could, and she may not have been around a lot. I don't think you can really be like, oh, she was an awful mom,
No,
because you
I
know
don't.
that
Yeah,
that she
I
was doing the
completely agree with
best
that.
that she could, and you understand that she was human, and that was what she could do. So you
I
have to-
completely agree. I'm grateful that my parents raised me. They could have let me on the streets, but they didn't. So like they did a really good job getting me where I am
That's like
today.
the bare minimum.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. That's literally the bare minimum.
No, but like even beyond that, I feel like they're like, oh, they did an above average job.
Yeah.
With me,
Mm-hmm.
partially because they like, well, no, I don't know.
I don't know, because I think what you count as like an average or above average job is also definitely very subjective.
It is very subjective. And it depends on what you care about, because maybe you want to raise your kid to be super religious, or maybe you want them to be like an athlete, or maybe you want them to be super academically like good.
Or you
And
want them to have a good
have
life,
those.
because none of that matters. Huh?
Whoa.
Yeah,
You
okay.
just got canceled, bro.
Yeah,
You
I
said
guess
religion
just, like-
doesn't matter.
What?
You said religion doesn't matter.
I never said that.
You just saying that like nothing in life matters.
Well, it depends on your religion.
That's
Yeah,
quite
no.
cynical.
It does.
It does depend on your religion.
Well, like I guess what I mean is like a lot of things are like, because if you want them to be like a good athlete or like good academically or whatever, that's like, I don't know. It's like kind of like, that actually has no bearing on like their life, like whether like religious or not, essentially. You know what I mean? In terms of like how they enjoy life. Because okay. No, because like what you consider to be like having a high quality of life may not actually make you have like a better life. You know what I mean?
Well, it depends again on your goals.
Well, what are their goals?
I don't know what their goal was.
That's true. Exactly. And so if that's the case, then
Actually,
like,
their goal was to get to Harvard, and they failed. So
You didn't make it to Harvard?
no.
Shut up. Screw Harvard.
I know.
Do they want you to go to Harvard?
Well,
My dad was like pushing hard for it
Why?
because he thought it was the best school in the country.
Oh.
MIT is the best school in the country.
It is.
Correct. That's
the
fact.
thing is like, why Harvard though? Because if you want to go to Harvard,
Ask
you do
him.
these stupid extracurriculars.
Ask him. You want to meet him? I
Extracurriculars
can
are
call him
stupid.
right now. No, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I wouldn't mind talking to him, or like just I don't know, meeting him. That'd be cool. But like also, I don't know, not right
That's
now.
fair.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, because Harvard did do extracurriculars and stuff. And
Yeah,
most
I'd
of them
rather
are
do
crazy.
that.
Extracurriculars?
Yeah, than these classes.
Again.
Actually, I don't know if you
feel-
would, because
okay.
extracurriculars make it crazy. Because like class work alone is.
Yeah, but you don't have to do the extracurriculars.
You don't have to know. But then
Exactly.
people will think you're a loser.
But I'm okay. I'd rather be a loser than suffer.
You'll suffer.
Because like I'm here,
You'll suffer
I am
in a different way.
simultaneously a loser and suffering. At least I get to choose
Why
one.
are you
in
you're not a
Harvard.
loser? What do you mean?
Uh,
What? No, why is it tough?
It's tough out here.
Okay, we're doing like therapy, but like
You don't live in the dorm anymore. You don't know what's like.
We may
No,
need to
I
end the
don't.
podcast now.
True.
We like wrap it
Yeah.
up.
You're right.
Well,
Okay.
moral of the story, guys, nothing matters.
That's not. That's
Yeah.
a very
That is-
depressing
no,
outlook.
Why
that
does
is
it get
the-
so dark? Why does it get so
No.
dark?
School
Like
is-
more.
You're trying to turn on the lights? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Let's
Moral of
end
the story.
the podcast in the
Moral
dark.
of the story. We're figuring things out. It'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah,
We'll give you the answers when we get them.
I used to know who I was, but now I don't know anymore.
I
So
thought,
it's
like-
it's scary and exciting.
Yeah,
You press one of the
this way.
buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, yeah. Okay, well,
Yeah.
this,
Thank you for
was
listening.
this was fun.
Don't be depressed.
No,
Don't do that. It's not
I
worth
don't
it.
think I'm depressed. Yet.
Dude,
Yeah.
stop saying that, bro.
Okay.
You're gonna get us canceled.
What?
Even
I
in the
said-
dark, bro.
I said don't be depressed.
Sometimes you can't control that.
I know, but like try not to be.
Okay.
Like do
Yeah.
your best to make sure that doesn't happen.
A good way to do
Sometimes
that
you
is
can't,
not to trade your health for academics.
Not necessarily.
Good lessons. Brittany, final thoughts.
My dog is really cute. I just got sent a picture of it.
Aww. Okay.
Also, never wear.
Yes,
You're
he
a
is.
dachshund? Oh.
Gonna dox your
Look at
dog.
him.
Wait, can we show the camera?
Yeah.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
How do I do
Wait,
that?
wait, I can give-
Show this way.
Yeah,
Show
we can.
that one. That one.
I'll show that one. This is Brittany's dog,
His
everyone.
name is Simba.
They can't see
Wait,
it.
oh. Can we see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can focus it.
No, you can't. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
It's so cute.
That's my little sister giving him a kiss on the forehead.
Aww.
He's a
Wait,
snuggle bug.
your little sister has like.
She-
Oh, you have a little sister.
Yes.
You're not just. Oh, that's crazy.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Okay, we have to end our podcast now. We actually end the podcast now.
Yeah,
Thanks for
don't wear
watching.
sombreros unless you're Mexican.
Stop!
Yeah, he's
That's actually about
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
I've got nothing else to say. So it looks like we have reached our floor. So I guess we'll
Cringe.
We'll see you guys
Cringe.
next time. All right.
Cringe.
Bye.
Next
Yeah.
floor.
Okay. Bye.
Cringe.